Welcome, Internet, to the Play Some Video Games podcast. It's your boy, Dad Ninja Dev, Donnie Eat the Hype Reese, and Delvin Paracock plus Cox.
Yeah.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How are you doing?
Baby?
Supposed to be like
Pretty good.
Cockmount.
No, that's the
Cockmount?
wrong name. We can't go to Cockmount.
That's not it.
Why
Cockmount
not?
doesn't work. Because
Mount
Paracock
Cock?
Plus is the way better. That's
the
no.
domain's probably already taken, to be honest with you.
It could be Mount Cock Plus. I mean, you know.
No.
Why
Paracock
not?
Plus is the superior name, clearly.
It's a terrible name.
Is it?
Great name.
It's not even fun. It sounds stupid.
It's very fun. Paracock Plus. Peacock and Paramount.
Yeah.
Cockmount
No.
is just something that's gross.
Cock Mount or Mount Cock is great.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
gross. That's just
Those work. Those will bring people. People will show up for that. You're a paracock. You're
People
like,
are
what the
showing
hell is
up.
that?
People are showing up for a pair of cocks any day of the week.
Are they?
Jesus.
Yeah. Paracock Plus. Subscribe today.
This is the Florida man version of it. Only in Florida.
No, this is
Yeah.
the new version of it.
Nah.
Why do y'all want me to be a porn star all of a sudden? Why do these people in the Discord talking about penis? Jonathan 32 is talking about me becoming a porn star. What's going on with y'all today? Y'all ain't getting no.
Sir, you're the one that put the name up there. This is not them.
Because it's
This
a
is
great name.
this is you. This is you.
Bringing it
You
up,
did
he's
this.
It's a
referring to
great
it.
name.
Seems
Paracock
seems
Plus.
like you really want us to talk about it, and I'm just not,
Yeah, you're leaning into it. This is you. This is you.
No, because I it's a great name. That's all.
not going to do it.
Yeah,
Jonathan
you see-
32, you're not allowed to laugh in our chat. Please discard that. Forget it from the record. I saw the bullshit y'all was saying while I was gone. Fucking rude days cheating for y'all. Y'all get 8 questions when I'm going and shit. I'm back. No, we ain't got no questions.
questions.
We ain't got no overs and unders.
It was the same regular 3 questions. Look, we all know if you're not on the show, you're gonna be at a disadvantage. This is how it happens. This is how it
didn't
works.
Show up for work.
That's on you.
No.
That's
not
on
how it
you.
works. The
That's
problem
on
is I
you.
show up for work too
You
much.
don't show up for work, you don't get paid.
No. That's not how
Okay.
it works.
That's not how it is.
I've missed
You're
plenty of
rigging-
checks. I'm just saying.
You're rigging the system in your favor. The White Caucus United Front is against me, and I see what's going on here.
Wow.
You
I see the little
you
alliance
motherfucker.
going, and I see what's going on here.
See, and this is why we have black on
White
black
on black
crime.
crime.
This is
This is-
yeah,
no,
he's
white on
just-
black.
He's
Yeah.
just devolved into race wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has nothing better.
I
to throw
did.
at.
No,
He has
no,
nothing
no.
better to throw at.
As soon as
to
the-
rip us down.
As soon
He
as
can't
as
see
soon
a
as the
black
black
man and a
person
white man
leaves,
working together,
Right?
it pains him.
as
Easily.
soon as the one black person
So
leaves
bad.
the show,
This is
they
why we can't
immediately
have
plot
progress.
against him.
This is why
Wow.
we can't have progress.
Wow.
Immediately.
We can't. You know what I'm saying? Me and Donnie
Yeah,
are trying to be
that's-
Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger here, reaching
No.
across the table, having that handshake and moving forward. And here you
That's not
come,
what happened.
trying to fuck all that up.
John 32.
Y'all are
terrible.
big.
Yeah,
Man,
load, exactly. There it is.
One of y'all are really short.
Load management has consequences on your stats.
Jonathan
This is
32.
what happens.
Nobody asked you a goddamn thing.
I'm
You
leaving
sitting
this
there
podcast.
in the fucking
I know,
dunce
right?
chair and don't say a word the whole podcast. You hear me, John 32? Jonathan
John.
32?
John's going to join the show. Here in a minute.
Right.
No.
How many people
will
are you
ban
trying to
him.
start
No.
beef with? Like, you got beef with John
Everyone.
32. You got
No.
beef with Smokeless
Jonathan 32.
Joseph.
D-Live.
You got beef with Kyle the Pug. Like,
Fuck Kyle
this
Fuck.
diss track is going to be
This,
great.
this is
I can't
this
wait.
Is the show I air
I'm
out my
waiting for all
grievances.
4 of them to record a medley diss track on him.
They can't.
They just
Have you seen D Life? Does D Life like somebody
It's
who's
not-
spitting bars?
It's not going to be a rap. It's going to be like a barbershop quartet.
What, they gonna sing me a song? They gonna be shy?
I mean, at least they sing songs.
No,
at least
I said a
rap.
barbershop quartet. It's not going to
They
be
don't
shit.
make
It
it
won't be
You're
R&B.
right. You're correct. A barber cock quartet. You were correct with what you
Oh
said.
my goodness.
That's exactly what it's gonna be.
Oh my
Podcast has
God.
been plagued with him and his fascination of dong.
I didn't say
Yeah.
it this time.
It's been doing
Damn,
Attack on
what's it?
Titan, the helmet. He keeps bringing it up. The change of the name.
Oh my God. The attack on Titan. I forgot all about that, Donnie.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's a constant thread in his mind.
D Life, you can't sing for nothing. Stop lying to these people.
It's like a fixation
Man.
he just can't get over.
And D Life, if you keep talking, I'm gonna call your wife, and I'm gonna tell her you've been bad.
Jesus.
His wife doesn't
Jesus,
play that.
now you're out here just making beef with people's wives now too?
Oh, I ain't fucking with his wife. His wife is legit. His wife will fuck you up. Like beautiful woman, she scares me. She was like, "Hey, you gotta come to D-Light birthday party." I'm like, "Yes, ma'am, I'll be there on time."
Is there any woman
No,
you're
I don't-
not afraid of? You're afraid of Rebecca? You're afraid of Daniel's wife? Like, what is going on here?
I'm trying to think of any woman I'm not afraid of. It's a good question.
The silence said it all.
I don't know yet. I can't bully women. That's why.
You're not doing a good job of bullying anybody.
That's true.
I
doing a
bully
good
you.
No, that's because you just
We
hate
have a whole team dedicated to bullying you.
This is
Title
true.
and everything. We are members
Yeah.
of the Delvin Cox Bullying Club. We are
true.
cyberbullying out here on Blast. Caught in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are. It's a damn shame.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
Joseph, I told
Smokeless
you. do not speak on
Joseph.
this podcast. You go play
Good God.
that great game and leave us alone.
Okay. Trying to decide, how do I want to do this? Do I want to give Donnie his like 5 minutes of fame? Do I want to save it till later?
5 minutes.
That'd be nice. He's been waiting for this for years.
When has it ever been 5 minutes?
It's in the news.
Well, it was
We're not gonna
2.
do 5 minutes on it. It's in the news.
There you go.
I mean, I just want to get it out
Let's
the way.
start with
kinda.
that.
Yeah.
Let's
yeah.
start with the love first.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. The love. He wants to talk about love. Like how was your Valentine's Day, Donnie?
We did my Valentine's on Sunday because my wife had lessons on Wednesday. So I had the Wednesday off. And this is how this went. It was like from Super Bowl and then Tuesday and Wednesday and yesterday. I was in bed probably by 8:30 every day.
Damn.
Because I'm just toast, man. I'm tired. Like it just is what it is. I'm not gonna keep going on about work, but work hasn't stopped and it hasn't gotten shorter. It hasn't like it just at this point I'm tired. Like we're all tired. Like we're really starting to run on fumes. We're all looking at each other like, dude, we need rotation at some point. Like we need a break.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a lot.
Donnie's
of that,
like, let the terrorists win.
early days, long nights, weekends. So yeah, I mean I haven't been doing a whole lot, but my wife and I, we celebrated Sunday and it was great. It's fantastic.
Excellent. What about you, Delvin?
The same thing. I'm not saving the world like Donnie is, but it's been a rough, wild 2 months, just to say the least.
Yeah.
Like saying I've been busy with all kinds of shit that I want to do. I had fun Valentine's Day. My girl wanted to go out on Valentine's Day, which is never a good idea. Don't do that.
Never.
Yeah, just don't do that. Like every restaurant was
Leave that
full
for
of
the young
fun.
folk.
Yeah, not even. No one should go out on Valentine's Day. It's a terrible experience. It's just an awful experience. Because every restaurant is full and overcrowded for no reason.
Sure. That's a part of it. Though.
And then there's no parking.
Yeah, that's a part of it.
And there's long lines. You're
The
overpaying
women,
for food.
the women like that. They want to be where it's happening. They want to be in the scene. They want you to be. They want you to be encumbered. They want you to be, all that impatient.
My girl thought that same thing until she realized there's no goddamn parking. She's like, you know what? I understand we did it this year because it's our first like official year together, over a year, our first Valentine's Day really together.
Yeah,
But after this year, we are never celebrating Valentine's Day on
maturation.
Valentine's Day again.
so that's
This is
that's
like,
married
fuck
life. You might
this.
as well just get the ring.
It's terrible.
Right?
It's married
Just
life.
give it a ring now. Call it a day.
That's when you've evolved.
It might become.
But in that
I'm
courting
sure she's going to
phase,
bully you into that
courting
anyway.
phase, you got to do that.
Oh, she's trying. She's trying. she talking to the mama. She talking to the grandma.
I'm surprised she just doesn't
Talking
go
to all
to
the
the
right
courthouse and
people.
get that done on her own.
Right.
just hands you
That seems
certificate.
about how it would be for Delvin. Yeah.
Mine now.
She just shows up and like, we're married now.
I'm the captain now.
Exactly. I think that's how he got the
let me
girlfriend.
ask-
She was just like, it's over. You're mine. We're done.
This is done.
Very close to it. They're not too far off being accurate. like we're on a date. Like, well, you're my boyfriend now. Like, that's fine. I like David Putty. Like, fine.
Yeah, that's right.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Yeah, that's fine.
What is a service charge?
That's exactly what it sounds like.
when you go to a restaurant.
Right. I was gonna say
Charge for
it-
service.
it is what it says it is.
Is that the tip?
Nope. Tip is a gratuity.
You're right.
So why do I have to pay a service charge when I'm already paying for the service?
Because it's Valentine's Day, and this is
extra service.
Extra. Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing extra.
So I'm paying just to be there.
Nope.
Pretty much.
Where did you go?
I can't remember the name of that restaurant. I can look it up.
Was it nice?
It's not important. It was okay.
Were the staff
It was-
dressed nice? Was the house?
Was there
glorious?
anything
there a
additional
special
for
menu?
Valentine's Day?
There was nothing additional for Valentine's Day. It was a nice restaurant. You know, they had they had a nice setup and stuff like
Were the
that.
tables dressed differently? Did they have flowers or candles or?
No, none of that stuff was different.
So it was just like a normal Tuesday night.
That was Wednesday.
But
Normal
no, what
it
he's
was-
saying, was
What
it
I'm
like
saying is
a
it was just
normal Tuesday
everyday
night?
Yeah, it was like a normal everyday night, pretty much. They didn't do anything different,
like I don't-
anything
I don't
special.
believe him.
See,
I don't
like,
believe
we're
him,
both
right?
sitting there
Yeah.
like you're reading. You were like, you're just lying.
Look,
We need to talk. We need to talk to the lady of the house.
Yeah,
We
yes.
can't, we can't take you. Chat. Are you with us? Me and Dev
'Cause-
both
I can show
heard
you
all of that, and we're like, he's just making this up.
Why would I make that up? They didn't do anything different.
I
The
think
restaurant
Just
had like
because
that-
you
Because if you
didn't
answered my
notice,
questions honestly, it wouldn't fit
I
your
wish I could
narrative.
call her.
I think is what happened. I think.
yeah. Just because you didn't notice any of the extra stuff they did for Valentine's Day doesn't mean it wasn't there.
I mean, you take her.
They
There
really
was
did.
something extra there, and that's why there was the service
That's
charge.
why there's the service charge.
No, there was nothing extra there.
Okay,
I am
you've got
one of-
D Life here. Look, you've got D Life here, and you and D Life can complain about paying the service charge.
Goddamn right, D Life. D
You're
Life,
out
you're
here
earning my
buying
respect
every
again.
damn thing. You've got walking transformers and 18,000 games. You're whining about service charge.
But why am I paying
Some people.
$20 more
It's the same
dollars
damn. It's the same
for a
thing with the
service
Netflix.
charge?
It's the same
And
fucking
then
thing with the Netflix all over again.
No,
I
it's
can't
not.
do this
Yeah,
shit. They
basically.
raised it $2, and I can't stand. Like it's the same thing. You
No.
are the richest cheap person.
No. There's
Now,
no
see, like-
reason to pay $20 more for a service charge than a
Not
tip.
ripping people
That makes
off
no
on
sense.
Valentine's Day.
It is.
Because it's
Thank you,
not
John
just
W.
Valentine's
for
Day that they
Valentine's.
do this. This is something that happens all over the place
Now,
on
if it was-
all kinds of occasions.
Oh my
Now, if the
God.
service charge was like, hey, this is going to
Then
the
don't
guy
go.
who.
I'm trying
I
to
don't know
fast
what to
forward
go
this.
where.
I'm trying to fast forward this. I'm sorry. I'm just not in the mood to hear anybody complain. Like, fast forward.
Well, you're on the wrong podcast for that.
Let's move forward. Like, I'm just. Come on, man. I've had a long ass week. Like,
It's about tree fitty.
yeah, come on. How much was the service?
$20.
It was $20. It was $20.
Yes,
That's a lot for a
that's a
service
lot.
charge.
That's a lot.
That's a lot for a service charge.
That is a
what
lot for a
like-
service charge.
Hang on. How much was the bill? How nice of a place did you go to?
Right. That's
was-
the
it was nice.
other question.
No. Was it like,
One,
yeah, 3 digits? Nice?
one. Yeah, it was
Then the service
135.
charge checks out. That makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah. If
you're going
135
anywhere
for
3
two
digits,
people.
$20. That checks
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
That's because my
And
woman's
if you wanted to
alcoholic.
count that as your tip, I think that's totally fine.
What kind of alcohol did you get?
The kind that you drink.
Did you get a bottle? And maybe the service charge was the bottle. You may have paid a service
didn't-
charge for the
That's so
bottle
funny.
fee.
They brought
She
you a
didn't get
bottle.
a. She didn't get a bottle. She got 2
If you got bottle service.
martinis.
So you got two. Yeah. So
No, that
you're
could've
going
been
to
it.
a super fancy place. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you're paying for the bartender to make your martini.
Okay, then that makes sense then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because you ordered from the waiter, and they went to the bar to get your drinks.
They probably did it. That makes
That's a
sense.
service
then.
charge. Service
Okay.
charge goes to
Yeah.
the bartender.
Okay, then that makes sense then.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Yep. Especially if it's anything that takes time to make.
Yeah.
Like if you get like a mojito, a martini, anything that's got to be shaken and stirred and all that, you're gonna pay extra, like because that takes time. That you know how many shots and beers that person can serve in the time it takes to make a martini.
Yes,
You know
that makes
Keep them
sense.
Missed out on $20-$50 worth of tips.
Now if it's
Look at
that.
that. We solved it.
Yeah, there
we
you go.
solved
Good
it.
job, guys. Solving the world's problems.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you had a nice Valentine's Day.
What's the
Day.
deal
Don't
with
do it
service
again.
Charges.
Never
Basically.
doing it again.
Did I yell?
Don't.
Yell at you guys about my daughter's birthday? I don't
No.
remember if I did that.
No.
I like when you
No.
go for it.
Well, like I've got a story like Delvin's, but I didn't want to hear him complain. I don't want to hear me complain. So maybe I'll.
Well, we're here for it.
That's what we're here for.
Oh, God.
I enjoy it.
So now I'm be a hypocrite. I'm gonna do the same thing I just told I didn't want to do.
Donnie, we're all hypocrites. Why are we
Right.
There.
Why are we hiding it?
All right. So the long story short, my daughter's birthday was a couple weeks ago. She wanted to go to dinner. My wife let her pick wherever she wanted to go. And they just basically told me to show up. So I show up, and it is a K-pop, I don't know, Brazilian barbecue place or something like this. There's K-pop blaring and everything. Shit cost me $230.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
To sit there and like grill little pieces of
sounds about
chicken and beef and grilled pepper. I was furious. I was like,
was it just the four of you?
I paid for just the four of us.
Oh my God.
And that included the gratuity was included. I also tipped because the waiter was excellent. Because I'm not like Delvin. I was like, I understand this gratuity is included.
I tipped.
But
you know how the world works. You understand how the world works. You're a part of it. We live in a society.
Yeah. But was furious. I was looking at my wife. I was like, did nobody check the menu? Did nobody ask? You just gave her like my complete wallet to just go wherever. Like $200. We could have went to like any steakhouse and had a tremendous meal. And I
you
felt
got
like
straight
I had like
George Jetsoned.
I had like adult Lunchables. It's essentially what we ate. And I was so mad.
Yeah.
So I was just like,
yeah, that's
this
how
is
that works.
never ever going to happen again.
I've been there before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no choice. It was like $50 a plate. It's like all you can eat. But again, like they bring it out in like strands of beef. There's like a grill in the middle of the table, and they just like pour all this stuff on a grill, and you have to wait for it to cook, and then like piece it together and cut it apart. I was like, this is
It's not even a good Benihana experience.
It was bad. It was so bad. I was like, I can't believe these people do this. But
and you had to listen to K-pop at the same time?
It's blasting nonstop the whole time. She loved it.
Sounds about right.
It's her favorite thing. And she's talking about when she goes with all of her girlfriends, she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's super fun. I'm like, you're not paying the bill. Like if I was eating for free,
when it's free,
I might think this is super dope too. So
yeah, no, thank you, friend.
My daughter is the experience one. She loves the experience. She's very bougie. My daughter, I don't know why, because we don't have it like that, but she is a member of the Finer Things Club. That's all she wants in life is super awesome.
If you look behind you and you see that Chucky doll, that's a finer thing.
Really?
Just saying. How much was it?
Whole life worked for decades before.
Right. This you did. You did, but she don't have to. She don't have to come up like you. So
she hit me the same thing like Dev. Like the shoes aren't good enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Better shoes. The clothes.
I understand.
Look.
Clothes. She didn't have to come up in the mud like you.
She told me
you have provided.
She told me her friends' parents buy them new cars. I was like, yeah, you're about to
kick rocks with that.
A new house.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta go
out of here for saying shit like that. So
no, but like when you said you just had to pay that, it totally made me think of the Jetsons when he goes to give Judy the money and she just takes his wallet.
That's the whole how I felt. Just got jacked. I just got ripped off.
Yeah,
cold Jack move, son.
Be your own people.
Yeah, every time. Yeah, my Valentine's Day is until tomorrow. So we're going to go to brunch. It's definitely not going to cost triple digits. Because, no. My wife will have a couple of mimosas. You know, it'll be great.
Brunch is the choice.
Yeah, women take brunch.
Love me some brunch. Give me some French toast because pancakes are fucking whack.
Way cheaper. Boo! Nah, son.
I'm sorry. You like whack stuff. You like pancakes, and pancakes are clearly the inferior breakfast choice.
Just flat.
Not at all.
Bread paste.
Yeah.
This is awful.
Yeah, we agree. Pancakes are just awful.
No,
we agree.
Pancakes are great.
I'm glad we finally all settled on a conclusion on this years-long argument. Thank you, Delvin.
Yep.
Peace has been restored.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Dev is loud. It's just loud all the time. Loud and wrong. Loud and wrong.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I don't.
Most
I only need to be right to me.
Are loud.
Yeah. I only need to be right for me. I don't need to be right for anybody else because I don't care what anybody else thinks.
That's all you need to know how wrong you are.
Yeah, exactly. I'm good.
You're in D-Life's corner. I mean, do I need to say like the defense rests?
That's true. That's true.
You know what? This is the heel
This is
turn.
the second time he sided with you.
That's
Yeah,
that's
you know
rough.
what?
It's a rough
Start,
night.
I'm start, it's starting to come around. I'm starting to feel it. Like, hey, maybe these mobile games aren't so bad.
Oh no. Oh God. We're going to
Maybe-
kick you off of
maybe-
this. You got to
Maybe
go.
Resident Evil ain't bad on the phone.
Oh shit. Have you played anything, Delvin? Because your thing was blank. There's no games on your side. You just work. No games.
Work is, yeah. I'm not going there. I played Banishers a little bit. Played Banishers
Oh, okay.
so far. I like it, but I like double-A-ish type games. And it feels like a very well-polished double-A game. I'm really digging it so far. The story, a lot of exposition at the beginning of it. Like,
Lots
you know,
of
like a lot of talking, like whole RPG conversation. Like you go kill two monsters and you have like 30 minutes of conversation. Like, oh,
It's not 30 minutes.
this is interesting. This is cool.
It's a lot.
But this is like a lot of exposition to get to where I want to get to. Like, but it's a cool RPG so far. Like it's very well done. It reminds me of the old BioWare stuff a little bit. Not necessarily how it plays, but like how the conversations.
All
go
the
and stuff
conversation
like that.
choices and stuff. Yeah. I saw a little bit of
kinda had
gameplay
that feel
and
to
saw a lot of the conversations. I was like, whoa, this is a lot of talking and
it's-
deciding.
Very
Just
detailed.
decisions.
Like if you're into that nerdy, detailed conversation, talking stuff, you might dig it. And the combat's not too bad.
It's interesting because I'm
So, yeah.
playing it as well, and not the person that plays the BioShock games. I mean, I just thought of Don't Nod. I was like, yeah, it's like Don't Nod's games that they make, but with action. It's like that. But
Yeah,
third person
you can say
action
that too.
game. And I'm
Feel-
enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
Feels a little bit of well, it looks a lot better than I expected it to look, considering it's Don't Nod. Now, not saying Don't Nod makes bad games. This feels like the production value is a little higher on it.
Oh,
I'm
really?
digging it though. Yeah, it does.
Compared to like their Life is Strange games and stuff.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Feels a little
I
bit.
mean, I
more,
think fidelity wise, I think the game looks older. It's okay. It doesn't bother me. It is. I'm just describing what it is. It's not a knack. It's
Yeah,
not a knock,
it does.
but it kind of looks like a Shadow of Mordor or like a Assassin's Creed 3 or a 4. That's kind of like visually what you're kind of getting there. It's not pushing pixels or blowing you away or anything like that. It kind of looks like
I
if
agree.
you were
It doesn't.
if somebody was like, this game came out in 2014 and you missed it, like I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. That checks out.
I agree with that. It doesn't.
Got it.
But Don't Nod never was known for their like graphical fidelity and stuff like
Well,
that.
that's why I was
just
interested.
kinda-
That's why I asked you about that, because like
It looks better to me than
some of their other
average one.
some of the Tell Me Why and stuff have really good visuals at times, and maybe this game will too. I've only played like the opening intro. I haven't played a whole. I played for maybe an hour. So
There are
From
some
what I've
Facebook-
seen on gameplay, like it looks really nice.
it looks
So-
it
Yeah.
looks nice. It looks nice, but it's like if you stare at it too hard, you'll see. Like
Yeah.
the foliage and the ground and the textures. Like it's
You
it's
can
not-
see.
Yeah, it's not.
You can
it's
see
not-
it double A as you go along and play certain elements of it. You'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, it's not a knock. I don't want it to sound like it is. It's not a knock. It just is. Just calling a spade a spade.
But I dig it though. I've been playing that, and I've been playing on Fight Forever, which is kind of my game I play to kill time and enjoy. I'm still
Only
enjoying it.
Delvin. Like
Right.
I was so funny. Delvin tells us in our private chat, I'm playing AEW and I'm loving it. And only Delvin would message me that after I'd spent a weekend of watching like popular game creators on YouTube talk about what a dumpster fire that game is in the recent DLC.
I'm enjoying it.
Like it's really
I'm enjoying it.
it's a match
Well,
made
we
in
know
heaven.
you like trash.
I know,
So
right?
that makes
So,
perfect
you had,
sense.
like,
It
not
makes
even-
It's
perfect
not even
sense.
that. You know what it is? I think it is. It's because I don't play online.
And he did it on his own accord.
Yeah,
Like
He
we
did.
weren't talking about anything. He just came in. He's like, "I'm loving it." And I'm like, "Oh my god, of course you are." Because I've
I
been
will
watching
say
stuff
this.
and everybody talking about how terrible it is.
I think the
That
season
day
pass
that
thing's a
day that
little
we
egregious.
talked, I opened up Steam charts. There was 2 people playing that game.
Yeah, people are not digging it. But I'm
I
enjoying
was
my
like,
time.
oh,
Like I said,
man.
I think, like I said, I think the the season pass is a little egregious because people are mad because the game, while I think it came out with a complete roster, the roster's way outdated.
Yeah.
And they're adding in people to the roster into the game that should have already been in the game, like the Acclaim, like Swerve, like Keith Lee, like Tony Storm, and everybody's like,
Claudio.
well, they should have been in the game in the first place. Claudio, why are we paying for these people who should have been in the game in the first place? I think that's where
you're paying for
the
development
disconnect
service
was playing.
charge.
Yeah, the development service charge, and I think that's where the disconnect with people's happening. But I'm enjoying it.
It takes money to build that, like they didn't do it for free. It's Ukes, man. It's not EA. They gotta make.
I think that's where people was having a problem. People want this to be 2K.
The people that I'm watching have a problem with that battle royale, which apparently is egregiously bad.
I don't play that. I played it one time.
It's amazing that a wrestling game was like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make battle royale, and then they fuck it up. Like how easy battle royale? There is a battle royale. There's a Royal Rumble. There's a battle royale just built into wrestling. It just have an online mode. Everybody comes out one at a time. 30 people in the ring. Last person standing wins. That is battle royale. Like it's there for the taking. They were like, nah, we're gonna do a stadium stampede mode where everybody runs around an aquarium and shit, and like it all glitches out.
What?
They have.
What?
You should look up the stadium stampede. They have an online mode where all the wrestlers are in a stadium and you run around and find each other and fight each other and knock each other down until like somebody like
why?
If you drain their energy, they like go away.
It's actually based off a match type.
And
they just did a poor job of implementing it.
It doesn't sound like this was a good idea at all.
The thing, everybody made fun of all of these types of segments back in the day when like WCW, like Nitro and stuff did these like that's backstage segment. They're like, we're gonna build our entire online experience around this, and it runs.
That was the problem.
Terribly. It runs terribly.
Wait, so that's the only way you can play online?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's the main mode to play online. You can play like versus.
You can have like a match, but like
a match.
But why would I want to do that?
That's the multiplayer.
That's the point. That's the point. I don't ever do that.
Why would I want to run around a stadium looking for people? This ain't hide and seek. What kind of shit?
That's not what I play for. So I wouldn't care about any of that stuff. I play the matches and stuff like that. Now they've had some really cool stuff. They added Beat the Elite mode, which I kind of dig, where you get to play. It's a single player mode where you can pick a character and you get to play in a tournament until you get to one of the members of the Elite. You have to beat them and you get like points and stuff like for that. It's pretty fun. And they've added like other couple modes like that. The whole Stadium Stampede thing is just something I just was never interested in. I think they should have made that an actual mode in the game, like a hardcore match type mode. It would have made a lot more sense that way. But otherwise, Swerve plays really good. He plays really good. He plays really close to his character. It's fun to play as him, doing his moveset. The players they added, Keith Lee, they're really fun to play with. Like I said, the only problem is that people don't really want to play the game, unfortunately, because of Stadium Stampede and other things.
It just fell off. That's okay.
Yeah,
that's what happens. Games just do that.
Yeah,
I liked the base game. There wasn't a whole lot of meat there, but the base core game, if you can beat up cheap and you like to have an old school wrestling game, it's a fine game.
Yeah, and it's cheap right now, I want to say. It's cheap everywhere now.
That Stadium Stampede, for anybody, if you should YouTube it, it runs hilariously bad. Like it's really performance-wise, it's real bad. People just glitch in and out and they disappear and come back. I mean, it's real bad. Like you're like, what is happening?
Sounds like an absolute dumpster fire.
Which is kind of fun, right? When WWE had that release, was a W2K20, was a nightmare, and it was terrible. But I'm not going to lie to you, I had a lot of fun playing the game. Me and my wife made so much fun of that stupid game. You'd have people that would just lift in midair and like go up to the ceiling, and ropes would go nuts. We're like, this is kind of awesome, though. It made it more fun in a way. Like we were like, this is real dumb.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just hit somebody and they like fly out into the stands with audio. You're like, whoa.
Yeah. Facial expressions. The game was broken, but it was fun.
It was super broken.
Sometimes broke stuff be fun, so yeah.
It can be.
Yeah.
Sweet. Donnie, you played Tomb Raider. Tell me about that.
I played the Tomb Raider collection and kind of hated it, and I wish it didn't.
Oh,
I'm not even gonna lie to you.
that's a
I'm
surprise.
because I was
No,
really
it's
excited
not.
to play it because they kept talking about like the remaster and they're gonna make it new and they've got new modern controls and you can control it with a stick and everything. Visually, the game looks incredible. Looks great. It does, and I love being able to flip between the old and the new, like the Halo collection thing. It's got that little gimmick. It's great. Visually, it's very impressive.
Okay.
Like all of these sorts of games, there's so many of these like PlayStation 1, 64 remasters that I love, mostly shooters, right? Turok and stuff like that. And that's what I thought I was getting into here. I thought that was a decent expectation. And I was aspired and struck again. they're not my favorite dev. And they do have a modern control. And you can control the camera. But here's the thing. When you go walking around, they manually manipulate the camera to fixate you on things. So it's like you have control of the camera until you don't. And then like you don't for a moment until you get out of the way. And so it just feels like you don't. It just kind of feels broken. And then like I played through like the first area and like even with modern controls, that game controls just as shitty as it did in 1995.
Jeez.
Like you're still like you jump and like maybe you make it, maybe you don't, maybe she grabs a ledge, maybe she doesn't. And I was like, I thought the point was to fix this. Like I thought the whole point was to make it play like a modern game. And apparently the point was to give you modern controls, but still make it play like the original game. And I'm like, seriously, my real take is like
why would you do
I would
that?
If I was going to play this, and I'm not, but if I was going to play the whole thing, I would prefer to play with the tank controls because that's the way the game feels, right? You play with the modern controls and it still feels that way, and it makes the game feel worse. You're like, why? Why do I have seemingly no control over the character with this control scheme? You know, it's like you kind of get it with tank controls. You're like, all right, this is just the way the controls are. You got to kind of fight it.
Yeah.
With modern controls, you're like, why is it broken? And I did not like that. I did not like that at
sucks.
all. And I bought it on Green Man Gaming, so I can't get a refund. If I had bought it on Steam, I would have got a refund. Now, here's the thing. I didn't pay a whole lot for it. I got it for like $19. I'm not too upset. And
right. Oh, you got it for Delvin service charge.
Ultimately, I'm happy to have it. Like I really like Tomb Raider, so I'm happy to just have the games in the collection. And maybe I'll try to replay it one day, but I really thought I was going in for like a Turok experience. I was like, this is going to be awesome.
Right.
And it just isn't. Right. Like I thought I was getting the Night Dive remaster old game, but it plays like new game, and it's just not the case. Doom.
Maybe
Quake.
at some point somebody will mod it and give it real
They
controls.
have Tomb Raider Anniversary, and like that's ultimately. I'm like, I'm just going to play that. Like if I would rather play that than this, and it's just a shame because like the visual work is really good. But outside of that, yeah, I was like, no, this is not. I played it for maybe an hour, and I was like, I may never play this again.
Damn.
Yeah, it's just not fun.
Look what they've done to my boy.
I played Banishers this morning. Because, well, it's for a few things. One, I was drafted into the Roughnecks. I am a hell diver.
That's right.
I tried
We're
playing
doing
it
our
by
part.
myself, and it was a mess. Like not good. I was running out of ammo. I did not have enough firepower to get to the objective. Like I just couldn't. Like I tried again and again and just kept running out of ammo. And
Did you not call down a resupply?
I did twice, and just kept like I couldn't get there because every time I went to the objective, more things came out, and then I'd have to run backwards to shoot them all, and then I'd run out of ammo and call the resupply and try it again. And it's like I needed more players. I needed more people.
What difficulty were you playing on?
I don't know, whatever it is out of the box.
So you were playing on easy, and you were doing bugs where you had to like kill you had to find one big bug and kill it. I'm assuming, or two big bugs.
There were two. I think like eggs or I don't know, nests that I had to clear out, and like I couldn't even get to the nest because there were so many things that would keep coming out, and I would just run out of ammo before I could get there.
How many bullets were you putting into these things? Because
it wasn't enough.
Because I've been able to.
I wasn't even half enough.
Interesting.
So I don't feel like this is a game that I can really play solo.
I got to show you how to play it solo because you can definitely do all of those missions solo.
Also, I played the game for all of 30 minutes, so maybe I'm just not strong enough to play that mission solo.
You are. I just got to show you how because, you shouldn't be using that much ammo. Like I maybe need to call a resupply once per mission on the ones where I'm doing where it's solo and take out the bugs. Just gotta show you the ropes. That's all. We'll show you the ropes.
Yeah.
You don't want to live forever anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much I'm going to play that game by myself. I did play it on the Ally, and I did get it running on the Ally, like to 60. It takes a serious hit to run at 60. Like, visually, it takes a hell of a hit to run. But it can run 60 on the Ally. But I don't want to play it like that. That's no bueno. I played it 120 on the PC, like no problem. Like, you know, so I was like, this is where I want to play it.
Yeah, that 4080 to the max. But yeah, on
PS5,
PS5,
hard like it's a piece of cake. Like it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like a heavy game.
It's kind of like the PS5 is running at 1080p. So
really,
yeah, and that's the performance mode. The quality mode is like 1700p or something like that. It's not great. So yeah,
but it's fun.
Yeah,
I did the little training mode and I did my first mission. I bought like, I don't know, some dumb like big rubber armor and a helmet, and I was like, okay. I'm just not that into live service games. Like, there's just not a whole lot that makes me want to play these things.
Shit is so much fun. I don't even play like a live service game.
Propaganda is fun, but it's like I would rather just watch that on YouTube than sit here and just like mindlessly play for like 1% of a planet.
Yeah,
I got real things to do.
I don't have any real things to do.
I've got ghosts to banish.
I've got for the
Mario
dumb shit.
minis to save. I have things to accomplish today. Like, I can't be just doing the same thing over and over and over again.
I'm here to spread democracy with the side of liberty. All right.
Yeah.
I'm doing my part, and I'm having a damn good time doing it. Killing out. Oh my god! Wait till you haven't even seen the automatons, the fucking Terminators. Oh my god.
This is like a managed democracy or something.
Yeah, managed democracy. I don't understand how we're spreading democracy to planets with no people, and it's just bugs. I don't know. I don't care. But I'm doing my part. It's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's okay.
It's punchy. It feels good. Murdering things.
So the reason I say I got drafted into it is because Dev's like, you got to buy this game, and I'm like, I can't buy this game. I just bought Tomb Raider. I got Mario vs. Donkey Kong. You know, like I've got all these games that I'm playing already. I bought Golf in it, and a member of the Discord just dropped a code in my DM. He was like, hey, we want you to play this. Here's a code. I was like, dude, that's so nice. You did not have to do this. And he was like, I just wanted to say thank you for all that you guys do. I was like, damn, that's so nice. And I offered to give him Game Pass.
Very nice.
And he said no. He did not want the Game Pass. And I offered to send him my mid-ass Sonic game because I got that Sonic Superstars game. And I didn't like that either.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kind of in that mood.
That game sucks.
I'm just in the mood of not like, yeah, there's something wrong with that game.
That game sucks.
I can't really place it. I played like 3 levels. And I swear to you, to me, it's as if like Chat GPT made a Sonic game. Everything seems to be there. Sonic's there, the world's there, the loops are there, like the ingredients are there, but man, the cake came out bad. Something happened, like it just doesn't feel right to play. It just doesn't feel like a Sonic game. Like
they didn't add sugar; they added monk fruit instead. Like so you got a sugar substitute.
Like I found sometimes I felt slow and like almost jumping up to. I was like, what is this? So anyway.
Yeah,
I was going to trade it in for Helldivers, but then I got gifted Helldivers. So then I traded it in, and I used that money to buy Banishers. Because GameStop gave me more money on trade than I paid for the game. That's what a great business they're running over there. And
you went to Delvin's GameStop.
And to just be nice to the person that's... I'm not going to say his name. He can... You know, like he didn't ask for any of that. I was like, you know what? I'm going to pay this random act of kindness forward. And I held a giveaway in the Discord. And I was like, yo, like this message. And I put everybody's name in a spinner. And then I gave out some Game Pass. So, yeah.
Random act of kindness paid forward.
Banishing some ghosts. I do like Banishers. Banishers is... I mean, I think if you like that sort of game, it's a linear third-person action game. You know, it's like the older Assassin's Creed games, like an Uncharted, like, you know, those sorts of games. If you like those games, like a Kena, but not an open world game, you know, and not like super action intensive. Like I said, there's a lot of decision making to do, and apparently those choices get hard. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, digging Banishers is cool.
It's on my short list. My list is very short this year.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, Delvin. I thought of you when I bought it. Like you were in the back of my head. We're sitting there talking about all those games that got canceled, those studios that got canceled. Delvin's like, if you don't buy the game, nobody buys the game, then they go away. And I was like, yeah, I can't let that happen to Don't Nod. I don't know if I like it or not, but I'm gonna be there. Like I'm gonna be there and say like, hey, I supported this game. I may not have been there for Mortals of Avium. Sorry, guys. that's on you. But I'm gonna be there for Don't Nod. I'm not gonna let that shit happen to Don't Nod.
Can't save them all.
Yeah, so I looked at that Sonic game and I was like, you gotta go. I don't even like looking at you. You gotta go. So they gave me $26 for that, and Banishers was like $50, $40, something like that. It wasn't even full price. So
nice.
I think it was at like $12, $15. Piece of cake.
It's a good choice. Yeah, I'll get it eventually because it looked like something that was pretty cool. I'm like, this looks like it could be a good time.
It's definitely going to come to Game Pass and PlayStation Plus at some point.
Possibly.
Definitely. Like this has got that squared. Like this is that sort of game.
I'm surprised Helldivers didn't come to PS Plus.
That would have been the better choice. Because Foam Stars didn't seem to take off.
Foam Stars
after the state of plays
trash.
and stuff. People are like, I'm going to play it, and like, no, they're not. Like, no, they didn't.
A lot of you dudes was lying y'all ass off.
Liars, all of you.
I told you from the gate out. Told y'all from the gate I wasn't playing that bullshit.
I shared that Reddit thread. It was a hilarious Reddit thread I opened one day. And it was like, I just played, it was like an hour of Foam Stars. And it's like, I quit and bought Splatoon 3.
Damn.
I was like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't know who that game is for or why they made it. I really don't. But Foam Stars sucks.
Use of Skull and Bones at 59. Wow. No way.
So the reviews are from places I've never heard of. So it's like 6 reviews that are up, and they're all just like random places.
I don't think they sent out a lot of
I don't think they did either. I just saw a review, I think from IGN.
They don't want
IGN's review was like a 7.
Okay.
But the reviews that were on Metacritic were all, who the fuck are
Rude
you?
Days, he's on it. Like we were like, surely it's not going to be that. To get 50, he's going to have a lot of 4s. I opened up Twitter today, and there was like a review roundup. I saw like 8 4s. I was like, oh shit.
Skull and Bones is a 64 right now. It's actually a 64. Yeah, see.
Maybe we scored.
Yeah, it's 64. That's based on 11 reviews. So now that they actually have more reviews. But yeah, it's like Try Hard Guides, JuxVideo.com, Merlin Kazani. Like, who, what?
Yeah, we don't listen. That doesn't count. You gotta give
the only reviews that are actually like ones that you know of, IGN has it as a 70 and PC Gamer has it as a 68. But the rest of the reviews,
I think you've got to give it like at least
I've never heard of
5 to 10 reputable outlets before you can like call it, right? That doesn't count.
Yeah, Game Informer has just to be determined.
That's like calling a state when only 15% of the votes are in. It's like, hey, we gotta count a lot of votes left. Like this show ain't over yet.
Somebody did try to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Jack's being charged.
But Jack's got the flu.
Oh shit!
Another thing we're doing.
Oh,
yeah.
Put him in his room. Tell him he can't come out. Here's 2K. Stay away.
He hasn't come out for a couple of days. He's been so super tired and sick. He's just hanging there.
Yeah. Speaking of Skull and Bones, we have some codes. We're gonna play the game and give you guys our opinion. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah,
may not be a good opinion.
I'm gonna tell you now. I have it. I'm probably not gonna like this game. We'll see. I'll try to be as indifferent as possible, but should be interesting, especially when compared to Helldivers.
Ubisoft creators.
We'll see what
happens. Only get the bad ones.
Yeah, they couldn't give us, couldn't give us the blue people. Make Delvin play that.
Couldn't get Mirage, but
no,
you can definitely get Skull and Bones.
Yeah. All right. Well, Donnie, there was some Xbox shit that happened.
There's a lot of news. We have a lot of news, but yes, we talked last.
Let's get into it.
Indefinitely, we talked last week about all of the Xbox rumors that were swirling. Delvin told me that on Shaq that I sounded defeated during that podcast. Did you ever get that impression?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I didn't get that impression either. I wonder how our other listeners came off.
Not defeated.
That's what you said, though.
Just a little bit like that.
No,
I said that you sounded. I said that you sounded defeated when you were talking about. Hey, everything I said was going to happen came up
Oh,
wrong.
I got you.
Yeah,
well,
that
that's true.
part.
That's true. So
And
we talked about how, and I said it 100 times, it was all rumors, speculation.
Mm-hmm.
Remains to
We
be
tried
seen.
to tell y'all.
We were talking about hypotheticals, but now we don't have to anymore because yesterday Xbox had their special podcast, put it in quotes, and here's what they announced. Xbox announced that 4 unannounced games are coming to PlayStation 5 and Switch. Immediately following the podcast, there was instant reporting. The Verge confirmed, VGC confirmed, and so did Famitsu. It's been a minute since I've seen like Famitsu confirm rumors that those 4 games will be Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, and Grounded.
no
Why?
exclusives.
Phil and the team, there was him, Matt Booty, Sarah Bond, said that it's just these 4 games at the moment so they can learn. They want to learn from them. And he said that because these are Xbox branded games on launch, they want to judge the appetite for these games on other platforms.
Learn their fans are stupid.
I'm trying to think, do I want to like
Right.
stop and do opinions as we go or just read the news and then do it all at once? How would you guys prefer to do this?
If you read everything, by the time we get to it, we will have forgotten. So we need to do
Okay.
opinions
I'll
as
just
we
say
go.
this. I don't want to sound like I want to like be the counter guy. But I actually think in this situation, I just think it's naturally played out that way. There was a lot of worry and concern about this all week, which we talked about last week, about what it was going to be, and it wasn't that. And it seemed like because it wasn't that, because they didn't come out and say Starfield's coming to PlayStation tomorrow, a lot of people seem to have taken this as like, oh, this is no news. This is a non-event. They shouldn't even have done this. This is nothing to worry about. This is a piece of cake. Nobody cares. That seems to be like the general takeaway from this. And while objectively, I understand that. They did not come out and say Starfield or Gears of War is coming out on PlayStation 5 tomorrow. I just don't have that opinion. Like that is my general take. Like I listened to the whole podcast on my way home. I read the articles that were released, and my takeaway is that they're going multi-platform. I think Xbox is going multi-platform. I'm surprised that so many people went from, and not just anger, because listen, I don't want to just react to like the idiots of the internet. We do that too often. So who cares? People got rid of their Xbox. They're idiots. But there was general concern, I think a valid concern, that if Xbox puts too many of their games on other systems, that it could potentially lessen the value of their own hardware. And I agree with that in the traditional sense of how people see consoles.
Yeah.
Now, I said it for years. I don't care. I am already playing on PC. Once it goes to PC, it's already multi-platform. Xbox has been multi-platform. That's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is I am trying to figure out how does this make sense in the ecosystem of Xbox? Because I don't think that I guess there's maybe 2 schools of thought on this. All those other rumors that we heard were from verified sources that have been correct on this sort of reporting many times before. It's not just like I trust Xbox era, but even if you don't, like Tom Warren is a trusted source. Jeff Grubb is a trusted source. IGN's a trusted, like we've heard of all these different people. They all reported on a bunch of different games. So either the idea is that they were all fed false information, like in some conspiracy theory, or there's truth to that. And I'm just going to believe the latter. And it seems like Xbox came out, Phil comes out, he tells everybody it's just going to be these 4 games. And everybody just lapped it up and then took his talking points and regurgitated it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't believe him at all. That's where I am. That's just on it. I'm like, I just don't believe.
Interesting.
Because like 2 years ago, Phil Spencer was like, exclusives matter, and we bought Bethesda 4 exclusives, and we're gonna make them exclusives. And he said like, I don't think it's right for our fans to be trying to figure out which one is exclusive and not exclusive. That's exactly what he just did. Like he just did. And here's the sad part. We've just seen a little bit. I don't want to say we. I don't want to speak for other people. I've seen a little bit too many of these from Team Xbox over the years. And now I'm kind of sour on it. I've seen them go back and forth and do this and do that and be juxtaposed with their own messaging and their own strategy that I just don't believe them. Because they're like, we want to learn. We want to put these 4 games on the PlayStation 5. We want to learn what happens. What does everybody expect them to learn? Because I'll tell you what they're going to learn. They're going to learn when they put their games where players are. They sell more games.
Right.
Do you think people are not going to buy it? Is that you think? Does anybody live in a world where they put these 4 games on PlayStation and we come back a year from now and they're like, "Well, that didn't work." Like, is anybody expecting that to be the outcome?
It could be not necessarily that it didn't work, that it's not worth the development cost, because that's the other thing. It could just be that, we're going to put these 4 games out there and we're going to weigh.
Yeah, I don't.
It was the return on investment high enough, which is also funny because then he also says in the same breath, like in another interview, he's like, I don't know who benefits from Helldivers only being on PlayStation and PC. Like who does it benefit?
Hang on, I don't want to lose the point. You're like, does it warrant the investment, the cost to port? Then why are you porting Pentiment?
Maybe because it's easy.
Why aren't you porting something that has more appeal to sell? Why aren't you importing Halo Master Chief Collection that would undoubtedly sell 5, 7, 10 million copies? Why are you starting with Pentiment? Like that
probably because
this just goes back to.
I mean, Halo would do that. Gears would do numbers.
I'm not trying to say people are right or wrong. I'm just pointing out that I don't believe them. Here's what I think has happened. I think they've come out and they said that they want to have more games multi-platform. I think this is the start of that. And because these 4 games aren't games that people care about, I think people are okay with it. You know what it reminds me of?
I was going to say
Xbox started being like, we're going to put some of our games on PC. And everybody's like, that's okay. You can put some games on PC. And then they're like, we're putting every game of ours on PC.
Right.
And I like that. That's a good thing for me. I don't want to make it sound like it's bad. I'm trying to see it for what it is. It's not bad. I'm not weighing on it one way or the other. I just didn't see. I don't know. I heard so many people, they were like, what did he call it? Community-driven games. Small. People were like, it's only going to be the community-driven. I'm like, guys, do you not see what's happening? Like, they're just lulling you into it. And again, I don't care that these games. I would have rather them come out and said, we just want to put our games on other platforms to make more money, and we're going to do this more often. I mean, when I say the Xbox going multi-platform, I expect that more games will be multi-platform. I expect there'll be timed exclusives. I'm not saying Xbox is like all that stuff we talked about last week. I said it then. I don't think they're dead. I don't think they're getting out of hardware. I don't think they're closing the business. They're still going to protect their nut. But I expect that more games will be multi-platform. I expect the Bethesda games are going to be multi-platform. They have Activision. All their games will be multi-platform. It's because they're going to make more money. They're going to be timed exclusives. They're going to launch into Game Pass. But ultimately, their developers want them to be multi-platform. Like the people making Bethesda games want their games to be in more places than just
absolutely. Xbox. What they're trying to learn is how much of this can we get away with without pissing our base off. That's what they're learning.
Yes.
That's all I heard.
I think
the entire time, that's all I heard was like, can we sugarcoat this enough to where everybody is okay with it? And here's the thing, they nailed it. Like everybody came out of that being like, great job, guys. Nobody cares.
Here's your spoonful of sugar.
Yeah, like see, that's how I came out of this like,
games you do it with.
Wow, they really just like snowed everyone, huh? Like good for them, I guess. But like I didn't see it that way. I was kind of, sometimes you kind of listen to what isn't said in a conversation, and that's kind of just what I was hearing. I was like, yeah, this is just them telling us they want to go multi-platform, and instead of them ripping the Band-Aid off and done matricking it, they've learned from their mistakes, and they're like, we're just gonna dip a little toe, maybe an
we
ankle.
Need to learn. We need to learn from these. We're gonna 4 games that have been out forever. Nobody's worried about.
I was like, that's just bullshit. Just, I don't know.
Frankly speaking, if they would have came out and said, "Hey, the Master Chief Collection is now on PS5," people would have had a fit. People would have lost it, even if it's old game.
You're right. I wouldn't have, but you're right. You're right. The collective internet would have. But here's the thing. If they do this for a couple of games now, and then Starfield comes out 2 years from now, and then Redfall comes out, but then Halo does come out, then nobody will care. And that's what's happening.
That's
what's happening. They're just
the reality is all the idiots that got all humdrum and up in arms and got rid of their Xboxes, you already did that. So you could have just ripped the Band-Aid off and called it a day. I don't
want to talk about them. That's like 6 people. I don't even want to talk about it. That's not even
right. That's my point. Like you could have ripped the Band-Aid off and been like, this is the strategy going forward. But
Um,
sometimes you gotta appease the internet and do the small things so you can eventually enact your
yeah.
actual, you know,
I just saw so
Game
game
many
plan.
reactions that were like, "Well, that was non-news," and I'm like, "No, that's Xbox telling you they're putting 4 first-party exclusives on other consoles. That's news. That's
Right.
big news. It's just not Gears. Like, I get it, you don't
Yet.
care
It's
because it's
not
not
Gears
Gears.
yet.
Exactly,
Yes,
exactly.
that's
And I
what it
just
is.
felt like nobody was bringing that up. Maybe they were, and maybe I'm not in those channels, but that's all I heard. That's all
Yeah,
I
I
heard.
haven't heard. I haven't heard anybody with the yet. Everybody's just like, oh, well, it's just the 4 games.
That's
I'm
all I
like,
hear. Yeah,
y'all really
yeah,
don't think
really.
that this is
4.
just
They're like,
like the
it's just
Trojan
4.
horse? It's
And
just the Trojan
the other
horse.
thing was they were like, is Starfield Indiana Jones? And he was like, it's not Star. And people ran with that. They're like, and it's not Starfield. Starfield's just not one of the 4.
Right. And then to go on and say, well, we
Doesn't
can never
mean
say
it's never
never. We
gonna
never
happen.
say
Yeah.
never. Like, come on.
I think they're gonna.
Yeah.
Especially here's the thing, and I said it last week. Just because, and this had nothing to do with the rumors. This is just where I thought Xbox was going after they bought Activision. It doesn't make a lot of sense. You have Activision making all their games multi-platform, and you're not giving that same credence to Bethesda. I think that's really ruining like your creative process. So I would expect that Bethesda and Activision games will be multi-platform at least after some timed exclusivity. Now, does that mean the core Xbox games go to other platforms? I don't think so. I think your Fables and your Forzas and your Hellblades and your Gear, well, maybe not Hellblade, but your Gears and your Halos, I think maybe they stay if they can. If they can, I think they stay maybe in-house. But the other things, I think head out.
Yeah.
Service games, I think head out. I think a lot of those become multi-platform.
Everything that would have been multi-platform before you bought them should just be multi-platform.
I think
and you
that's what
keep
they're
your
doing.
first-party Halo and Gears and
I think
stuff
that's what they're doing.
in-house. Right.
That was my big takeaway from this whole thing. That was my big
Because Bethesda at Jump, it's like we really want to put our games everywhere anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, ultimately, because it's doing them no good for
none.
Bethesda to make a good game that can't sell because it's just on the console. And we saw that like Starfield has legs. It's sold very strong on Steam.
Yep.
So I expect the Bethesda games, like I think id, I think Doom, I think Wolfenstein, Indie, I think they will come to PlayStation and Switch after some exclusivity period.
Yeah, because I mean, think about how much you miss out on. Like, think about who actually have Doom on PlayStation.
Yeah.
How many people have Fallout on PlayStation to just
part of it.
not put it there?
Part of it. And like, look at the games look at the games: Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, Grounded, Sea of Thieves. Like these are all from studios that have multi-platform experience and multi-platform customers.
Yep.
And like even Rare. I know Rare hasn't been Rare and some, but like Rare is a name that has appealed to customers on other platforms. So like I expect that those games going forward will just be like that. That was my big takeaway. Anyway, so Phil did the podcast. He also did an interview with The Verge, and Tom Warren specifically hit him on a question that I really love Tom for asking. So I wanted to bring it up. Phil asked him about the 30% comment during the FTC trial. So if you don't remember, Phil Spencer was put on the stand in the FTC trial while he's being interviewed, and they asked him about the 30% cut that Sony would take. And he said if we put our games over there, Sony would take 30% of our profits and then use that to put us out of business. Well, that's quite in contrary here. He's putting those games over there, and he's like, so does this not apply now? Like you said this just then. How does this work now? He said that he sees this as a move to help them grow their games. And I've heard this analogy brought up a few times. I don't necessarily disagree with it. I think there's probably some legs to it. The idea that if we put Hi-Fi Rush on PlayStation and Nintendo and people really like it, then when we make a Hi-Fi Rush 2, maybe they'll buy an Xbox. Sure. Except that now I think you've given them the expectation if they wait long
that it's going to
enough,
come. Right.
Yeah. I don't.
Why would I?
That's the hard part.
No.
He also said that he wouldn't do this if it was punitive to the Xbox platform. And this is again where what are they going to learn from this? They won't know that for years.
Right.
They won't know that unless they try until they launch the next console. And then my question to that end, because we're going to talk about hardware, but just on punitive to the Xbox platform, that's if they even continue going like head to head next gen with PlayStation, which I'm not so certain they're going to do.
Yeah.
So like the idea is, let's say between now and whenever these things come out, say 3 years, let's say they put 10 exclusives on PlayStation 5. Well, then when the next consoles come out, you would have to weigh the difference in, did anybody migrate to the other platform to play those games there instead of buying an Xbox? And it's really hard to judge because here's the thing. Not a lot of people are buying Xboxes already.
Exactly.
So like, how do you really weigh that? And then, but here's the other thing. What if PlayStation comes out a year first or a year later, or what if Xbox makes a handheld and they make a then it gets really murky. It's almost like you've set up a thing that you can't prove. It just sounds like what somebody would want to do if you were going multi-platform. Like I kind of expect them to be like, look, Xbox is sold and we're selling about the same amount and we're selling about the same pace, and that hadn't really hurt the platform. And I'm like, okay, like, sure. At least that was my read on that. Am I just being real cynical?
No, I think you're spot on.
Okay.
I think you're
really
spot
anybody say
on.
any of this, and I'm like,
Which is crazy. It's crazy that nobody else is able to like read that or have that same train of thought, because it really seems like absolute nonsense. What are you going to learn from this? And again, if you do make a Hi-Fi Rush 2, people are just going to be like, well, this one came, we'll just wait. Why would I buy an Xbox?
Hi-Fi Rush is going to do very well in Japan on PlayStation
Absolutely.
and Switch. I think Hi-Fi Rush will do 1 million copies on other consoles, at least 1 million.
Yeah.
And that's
what
really
you're going to
good.
learn is that you need to put your games
like
everywhere.
You know, like I kind of look at Hi-Fi Rush and I go, I bet Hi-Fi Rush can outsell Bayonetta.
Yeah. Probably.
I think so.
Yeah.
And that's got to be good for them. And again, I'm not against it. I keep saying it because I know I feel like when I hear the things that I'm saying, I feel like it sounds pessimistic, and I'm not trying to be.
It doesn't sound pessimistic at all.
I really don't care. They can put every game on PlayStation today. I'm not buying a PlayStation. I don't think I'm buying another Xbox. So like, I really don't care. I don't know. It's just like how I see the situation.
What happened was, because of all the chatter that happened the last week or so, people were in a frenzy and all crazy, and then hearing what was said kind of eased their fears. When it really shouldn't have. It really shouldn't have.
They got set onto the extreme, and then it wasn't as bad as they thought, so now they're more accepting of it.
They're more accepting of it, and because of that, they're not seeing the bigger picture of what's really happening.
It's like saying we're going to shoot you in the head, but then cutting off your pinky, and you're like, well, it could have been worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, they're gonna slowly be eased into everything going into third party eventually. Because frankly speaking, it's ways they can do it now that they have Activision and they have Bethesda.
I think once they just get used to people doing it, like I said, and I don't mind it. I'm not even want to say I'm right, but it's what I thought they were going to do when they bought Bethesda, is timed exclusivity on their non-core games. And non-core games doesn't mean like internal first party. I mean, they're non-core brands. Like, I think Halo, Gears, and Fable are like core brands. Does that mean I think Perfect Dark doesn't? I think Perfect Dark could totally go multi-platform.
Absolutely.
Like I think, like I'm thinking brands that are like, I think Hellblade could possibly be ported over at some point.
I don't see why Hellblade shouldn't, because Hellblade 1 is everywhere. So
it's gonna sell more. Like, it's gonna like.
You automatically like nerf yourself by only releasing it on the system that's technically in third place. Like,
the reason that I thought this was going to happen again is it puts them in a weird spot when they bought Activision, where you're doing something for one that you're not doing for any. And I think like they got to clean this up. Yeah. And I think they got to set the stage where like, Call of Duty's day and day everywhere. Everything else is going to come a year after. If you want to play Gears, you got to have a PC or an Xbox. Like, I kind of think that's where they're going, but like. I would have wished they would have said that on this podcast.
I do too.
I really did not like that they were like, it's 4 games and we're not going to tell you.
They keep trying to be good guy Xbox, and they need to stop that shit.
They're like, we've got 4 games coming and we're not going to tell you what they are. And I realize that they've got deals and it's going to be in the direct and all. I don't care. Then why did you have the podcast?
Right. Because again, they're trying to be good guy Xbox. Xbox can't win. They just can't win. Whatever they do, somebody's going to be mad at them. They need to just go ahead and be like Nintendo.
With Ryan Gosling, what do you want?
Right.
What do you want to do?
Right. 1000%.
What do you want? Tell me what
They
you
need
want.
to just go ahead and put their stake in the sand and say, this is what we are doing. Either you're with us or you're not. Because what does Sony and Nintendo do? They don't give up. They don't care. This is our plan, and this is what we're enacting. Microsoft has to learn that they can do the exact same thing and stop trying to be good guy. Stop trying to appease all of these fans who are tossing their Xboxes out the window.
Leave it to the other events. Then I would have just rather this just come out in those other events then. Just have the direct
that too.
Hi-Fi Rush and be excited. Anyway, it doesn't
To
matter.
be fair,
I don't care a whole lot about that.
To be fair, what they did worked.
It did work. Yeah,
they had all. It works. So
it calmed everybody down.
And it worked.
And here's the funny thing: it was like a week ago that a lot of the more popular influencers were like, if Xbox brings exclusives, they're dead. And then a week later, Xbox is like, we're bringing exclusives to that thing, and everybody was like, this is awesome. Like, that's what I mean. Like, they just lapped it up. Like, Phil just put it out on a plate, and they were like, thanks. Can we have another? It's weird. This is like kind of super weird. And they're like, but it's not Gears. I'm like, yet. It will be.
Right. The sad part is, like, people are going to buy the games regardless. Like, these idiots that are, like, saying they're not going to buy, that's a lie. Remember the Hogwarts? Remember that? Everybody said we're going to boycott that? It was the biggest selling game of the year. Like, gamers are full of shit.
Right.
Plain and simple. They're full of shit.
Anyway. They did talk about hardware. Sarah Bond had this to say: we have some exciting stuff coming out in hardware that we're going to share this holiday. Put a pin in that. We're also invested in the next generation roadmap. We're really focused on is delivering the largest technical leap you have ever seen in a hardware generation. You can go ahead and print the headlines of people dunking on that 4 years from now. Just go ahead and print that up. Just write those articles now. You can write that shit today.
We are in such a weird space of diminishing returns. Like, I love that we're talking about 8K. We barely have 4K. Why do I want to hear anything about it? Can we just get 4K at 60, like, stable? I don't need a generational leap. I need you to just get to 4K 60. That'd be nice. Things that we were supposed to have last generation. They were solidified this generation, and we can't even do that.
So they said they have hardware this holiday. I assume that's the Series X refresh in the controller. Which is cool. Yeah, like get a new Series X and get a new controller. It's got haptics and, triggers like the PlayStation controller.
Like the Bruno Mars song, 24K
PlayStation at that point.
just keep going up the case.
I mean, no, like they're just like if you're gonna do the controller and just do that.
Right.
You can save everybody a lot of time and money if you just put them on. Anyway, Phil said we're really thinking about creating a hardware that sells to gamers because of the unique aspects of the hardware. That just means handheld.
Just say handheld.
Just say handheld. Just say handheld.
We see you idiots love these handheld devices, so we're gonna make one.
Yep. And Microsoft, in their blog post, said we see an opportunity to make a lot of different type of devices, which again brought me back to kind of what I was thinking on last week's show. That I'm thinking they may get out of the traditional, we have the Xbox brand of the PlayStation 5. I think they may just be like, we've got 4 systems for you to choose from. We've got a streaming stick. We've got a handheld. Here's this cheap console. Here's a fucking super Xbox. Like, if you want to give us $12, we've got a super Xbox. Like,
and when you look at who's making the hardware, it's the Surface team, and that's what the Surface is. They've got like shitty Surface. They've got great Surface, and then they have the Surface Studio that's actually a goddamn gaming laptop.
See, like I could see that being the thing. They gave us an update on Game Pass, which is the first time in 2 years. They have 34 million paid subscribers. Now that includes the Game Pass core folks that were converted over that used to be Xbox Live. And I've got questions that I could not find answers to on that one. But 2 years ago, they were at 25 million. So they've gained roughly 9 million paid subscribers. Phil said,
but were those 9 million people that were just Xbox Live?
He said, we're seeing incredible growth on PC. On console, we've seen growth slow down, mainly because at some point you're going to reach everybody on console that wants to subscribe. Now, here's the thing, Deb. Years ago, before Game Pass was really a thing, I recall them touting Game Pass or Xbox Live Gold memberships in like the 70 or 80 million range.
I remember that.
So if they converted all that over, how is it just at most 9? It makes me think And again, I'm
They
speculating
lied.
because I could not find. I'm thinking maybe they haven't converted everyone over yet.
That'd be. How does that
Like,
work?
how are they doing that in other territories, or is that just like a U.S. thing?
Maybe it's just a U.S. thing because
I'm
that
wondering if
doesn't
they are
make any
leaving
sense.
people alone in other territories we just don't know about. I don't know, because it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to me, having followed Xbox for so long, having done this podcast for so long, for them to say we've converted all of the Xbox Live gamers, and in 2 years we've grown 9 million. That math ain't mathing. That math doesn't math.
Unless they
I mean,
really
tell me like
lost that
tens of
many
millions.
people.
Yeah, like that's disastrous. Like if
Right.
that's legit, that's disastrous. That's terrible. That's terrible. At that
And they're
point,
in worse shape than we think.
you should have made it online play free. Like you should have just bit that bullet if you're going to hurt that.
Which
much. Like, that's,
I still can't believe they're
I don't-
charging for online play when I think about it.
That's the thing. I don't think we have full transparency of that number like we think we do.
Nah.
I gotta believe that doesn't seem right. So yeah. Anyway, Game Pass, and I told you guys. I think when we talked about this a couple weeks ago, remember I said Game Pass is somewhere around 30 million was the estimate. Like they just haven't grown a lot in years.
Yep.
Not nearly
Because nobody's buying Xboxes.
They wanted to be twice this much. They wanted to be 60, 80 million by now.
Yep.
Not 34. And I think that might be a big reason why we're seeing them do the things that they're doing.
Absolutely. Because you don't have people buying Xboxes. The people that are buying Xboxes probably aren't subscribing to Game Pass because it's their secondary system, and they're just like, I'll get a game here, get a game there, maybe get a 3-month sub or get the sub for just the one time when the one game comes out that I want to play and let it lapse. They're not converting in the way they want to. And it's also hard to say that there's like the killer app. Unless you are an Xbox diehard, I don't know if there's a killer app that I have to keep my Game Pass sub for. I think that's the other thing. If you're not like, I am the Xbox guy.
Pal World is like their best game on Game Pass so far.
Yeah. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be interesting to see how all of this shakes out in a year and a half, 2 years. I think if Call of Duty goes into Game Pass, you might, like day and date, you might get a bump in subs.
It'll grow. Somebody.
But again, is it going to be the people who are going to stay, or like, I'm going to play it for 3 months and let my sub lapse?
Yeah, I think
because everybody else is playing on PC or PS5.
I think if there's a commitment to that being an annual thing, I think they'll stick around.
Yeah, I just wonder, like, how much. I wonder how much of the Call of Duty player base who's playing online.
Not all of them. Not most of them. Not half of them.
Right. So, like, how many people are going to say, I'm going to sub to Game Pass?
5 million. If I had to guess. Can we get that 30?
My wonder is because the annual cost of Game Pass is so much more than what me just dropping $70 for Call of Duty is. If that's the only game that I really play.
It requires them to couple Game Pass with other games. You have to get them with Call of Duty and then show them there's other things here too. And you try to retain them.
So I can't wait to see what happens, because I just know so many people who just play Call of Duty who are like, I'm not gonna get Game Pass because it's so much more expensive than I'm playing Call of Duty, I'm playing Madden, and I'm playing 2K.
There's another thing. There's the PC avenue too. I could see a lot of players just getting it on PC with Game Pass instead of buying it.
We'll see. That's what I'm talking about. These people that I'm talking about, they just play it on PC. They're not gonna buy Game Pass for Call of Duty simply because it's cheaper. No, the guys that I've talked to, I'm like, if it comes to Game Pass, you can just get Game Pass, and they're like, but it's going to cost me more. There's no reason. This is all I'm playing.
We'll see. I think it'll be some. It's definitely not going to be zero.
It won't be zero. I just wonder, is it going to be enough to make a difference?
I think so. I do. Diablo 4 is coming to Game Pass March 28th. It's a big deal. In this podcast, they said a few things that I wanted to point out. And I wrote down some quotes here on another notepad. Give me a minute.
Boom, 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 boom.
It's interesting. They said we got to start thinking of hardware to service games instead of the other way around. That was like their big MO, their motive, which is interesting because I was thinking about that. And the first thing I thought of was, does Nintendo think that way? And I think they do.
Yeah.
because Nintendo builds entire hardware around games.
Correct.
But it's
Correct.
different though, right? It's not we've got to build, because their whole point was that like games are bigger than the platform. They mentioned like Power World and Roblox and Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
There are games that are bigger than a single platform. Sure. There are not a lot of them.
No.
There are tens of thousands of games that aren't. And there are like 12 games that are. And is that a good way of like selling your business? Like, is that your strategy?
If you're not Nintendo, no.
Yeah, it's weird. So I for whatever reason, I really keyed on that. I was like, that's a little odd to say in the context at which they're trying to present it, because they're not saying we're building our hardware around our games. They're saying we want games that are so big, that have so many people, that like our hardware that we make is just in service of you playing those games.
It just sounds like a server.
But see, like the PlayStation 5 is in service of playing those games. The Switch is in service of playing that's what EA would say.
Yeah.
That's multi-platform. Like when I heard them say it, like I was like, yeah, they're going. That's multi. That's how
it's a PC.
That's how Eves would answer that question. He'd be like, hey, I don't care where you play. You play on all these devices as long as you play Assassin's Creed Infinite forever, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
It just, to me, it just sounds like we want to be the PC. Like, that's what it is. You can run it on the PC. Everything runs on the PC. We'll find a way to make it work.
So anyway,
it's weird, though.
Those are my thoughts. Ultimately, I thought the podcast was good. I think they accomplished their objective, as I said earlier, and I think they quelled a lot of people. And I'm not upset or disagree or anything like that. I'm not saying Xbox is doomed or anything. I just don't think they said the quiet part out loud, and I think I definitely heard it. I was just like, oh, so we're just going multi-platform.
They basically just put the fire out to a low smolder for the time being. And that's really what it is.
Yeah, and it's probably smart on them. They're learning. They're evolving. Because an earlier Xbox would have said, we're doing this, and people will get on board eventually. And I think a new Xbox was like, no, we have to handle this with some tact, or we may not have enough business anymore. So
yeah, you gonna play Diablo?
I'm sorry?
You gonna play Diablo?
Probably not.
Yeah, me neither.
I didn't skip that game. Like, I skipped that game. I've never been that into Diablo. Just from the get-go, I've just never been a Diablo person. The only time I've ever gotten into Diablo is when I played on my Switch. When it was portable, and I could play on the couch, not doing anything. Like, and I could just do nothing and play Diablo. So if I can't do that, am I going to play Diablo? Probably not.
I mean, on your Ally,
I'm not going to do that.
It might run well.
I'm sure it will. No, I'm sure it does. But I'm just not. I don't know. For whatever reason, I'm not.
All the people that I know that actually play Diablo,
it looks
they already
great.
have Diablo.
I mean, it looks great. It looks like I thought that in the marketing. I thought Diablo looked amazing. It's just not. It's just not me. It's like,
I get it.
I just don't do that game like that. You know, I'll probably take it for a spin. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I mean, I play Diablo 3 by myself the entire time. It's just I'm gonna play the campaign and had a damn good time.
Cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah,
super cool.
Stay a while and listen.
Yeah.
What about you, Delvin? You gonna play Diablo on a different console, even though it's in Game Pass?
Nope. Have no interest in playing Diablo. Not even a little bit.
What did you think? Do you have any other thoughts to share about it? You haven't been saying a whole lot.
It's kind of what I expected it to be. It wasn't no real surprise. I think that people.
You gonna get Hi-Fi Rush on PS5?
Oh, no, I'm not doing that at all.
No, actually, let me. Are either of you gonna get any of these games?
Hell no.
So maybe they'll learn that their games don't have any.
I want to play Pyramid.
I'm not the person for those games at all.
The only thing, like,
on Xbox, so.
I really do hope that people find Grounded personally, because I think Grounded is one of the best games Xbox has made in some time. And I know Sea of Thieves is super popular, and I get it, and I've tried it. I just don't like Sea of Thieves, but I love Grounded. Grounded is great, and like how big some of these survival games have popped off. I'm just like, I kind of feel like if Grounded was multi-platform, would it be like that? Like, would it be that game that like popped off and got super big? Because
people like that game.
It's really good. As like a survival game, it's super good. Dude, fighting a spider in Grounded is fucking wild. Like, it is a thrilling experience.
No, I'm not fighting those spiders.
If they do haptics where you can like feel the spider's
stop it.
I'm telling you, when a spider's
I will set my console on fire.
You hear the rumble and stuff. I mean, it is tense. Tense.
That's the one that has the no spiders mode, right? Because
Does
that's
have
what I'm
no
turning
spiders.
on.
They just turn
I'm
it to
turning that on because I can't do
morphic
spiders.
blobs, nothing. You gotta fight the spider, man.
I'm
'Cause
not
when you
fighting no
take it
fucking
down,
spider,
You feel like king of the jungle. You're like,
bruh,
fuck you.
bruh.
It's
World
so
of
good.
Warcraft had spiders, and that
It's
shit
so
scared the hell out of
It's
me.
so
I
good.
can't do
I really
spiders,
like
bro.
it. That's the one. That's out of the 4 for me. That's the one by far and away.
And that's the one that's not going to do any. It's not going to move
It's like-
anything. That's the funny part.
I'll probably buy it on Switch.
Yeah, none of the games are games I play, so I got nothing.
We do have Sony financials, so we've got news from the other side of the house as well, and this is very interesting. So, an update on on sales. PlayStation 5 sold 8.2 million units in the quarter, bringing the lifetime sales to now 54.8 million overall. Full game software units 89.7 million, first party software units at 16 million. The digital download ratio for PlayStation is at 66% are digital consumers over physical. And the monthly active users on the PlayStation Network is 123 million players, a record high. More people logged in and played PlayStation something than ever before.
And that number just went up with Helldivers.
The main takeaway, though, from the COO, CEO, CMA, FY, like the guy apparently is everything. He is the board. He owns 8 positions at PlayStation currently.
He is
They must be
PlayStation.
saving a fortune on salaries. Man's got 8 jobs. The main takeaway is despite the console selling at the rate it did, despite the record of users being an all-time high, despite total revenue being up 16% year over year, PlayStation's operating income fell 26%, accounting for expenses. Noted that promotions used to sell consoles ate away at their margin, and announced that no existing major franchise titles are coming to PlayStation 5 before April 2025.
Why couldn't they just say no sequels?
They lowered the PS5 target from 25 million to 21 million consoles sold this year, and then said they expect console sales to slow year over year. Now, they have some comments that I want to read before we get into that. So let's just react to that, because here's the thing. They use these promotions to sell all these consoles, but those consoles ate into their margin, and they're not selling enough software apparently to make it up. Like, that's wild. Like, the reason I named this podcast "The State of the Gaming Industry" is you have PlayStation telling you, well, this is the best quarter we've ever had. We made $9 billion. We sold more consoles, we have more users than ever, and here's the thing: it's not enough. It's not enough. How is that possible?
What promotions they had?
Right.
They cut it was in other territories. They cut the PlayStation 5 Slim and stuff to like all-time lows, and they had bundles, controllers, and games and stuff.
That sounds like a bad business decision. The reason that they're down is not because your sales are slowing down or it's not enough. It's because you decided to do a bunch of promos where you probably didn't need to. Like, you think about how PlayStation is doing, how it's selling, the games are selling your consoles. You probably didn't need to do all of these promotions and things.
Well, he did bring
to cut into your margin.
He did bring.
And wasn't they raising prices some places?
Right, they raised the price somewhere, but then there were places where they cut them.
A big reason he brought up is he did mention that the console has not gotten cheaper to make as typical in a console generation. The console is still costing them as much to make now in year 4, or is it 5? What year are we in?
I think 4.
Yeah, in year 4, it still costs them the same amount to make as it did in year 1, and he's claiming that he's like over the lifespan of a console, they typically got cheaper to make, so our margins would go up over time. They're not going up. We're not getting any margin. We're not creating any extra margin off the console. Their only margins are coming off of services and accessories and games.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's still a hangover effect of COVID, with just parts still being expensive and still being somewhat hard to find. Like, it's just a reality of the business.
A PC-like architecture, and you start paying PC-like prices.
Because you're now competing in that PC space as well.
Yep, you're competing for the same silicon.
Yep.
Some interesting quotes, some very interesting quotes. Quote from CEO, is it Hiroki Totoki? In the past, we wanted to popularize consoles, and the first-party title's main purpose was to make the console popular. It is true, but there is a synergy to it. So if you have strong first-party content, not only with our console, but also other platforms like computers, first party can be grown with multi-platform, and that can help operating profit to improve. So that is another one we want to proactively work on. Sound a lot like Xbox.
Yep.
We need to
Except
increase
fuck Xbox and just PC.
PC. But it's like we need to increase our and this is kind of what I keep coming back to. And Jeff is probably somewhere in deep in my thought, because Jeff's been talking about this for like the last week. That consoles they've extracted like maximum value from the console business that they have.
Yeah.
They've bled those margins as far as they can. And of course, they're appeasing to shareholders. Sustainability is not good enough. How do we make more money than we're making?
Right.
And they're starting to run into, there's only one avenue at this point. With the rising cost of games, the avenue to make more money is to what? Put those games
Put them everywhere.
in stores, make more money.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like PlayStation will soon venture down that path. His next quote was, he spoke about visiting studios and how everyone's working very hard, but quote, but overall growth and sustainable profitability or an increasing margin, how will that translate to these goals? I don't think people understand that deeply, and that is the problem of the organization.
Yeah, okay. Games got way more expensive to make. We all know that. I mean, this was what Sean Layden was saying before he left. Like, he's like, this shit is really expensive, and we don't charge enough for the games. And then you also have, like, you want to do live service games, like that costs ongoing money. And if you're not making money,
they want to restrict costs. They want to bring costs down.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
Layoffs, and I think it means a reduction in budget, and maybe a reduction, I don't want to say quality, but maybe a reduction in fidelity, maybe different things. Yeah.
I think less games coming out. I think it ends up panning out to like games just, you're not going to get so many games. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do we need as many games as we've got right now?
Yeah, well, we'll get into that in a minute, but yeah, I don't necessarily think that. There's a lot of games, true. There's more games than anybody can play, true, but that's different when you're a platform provider.
I think,
to me,
I've been saying before, maybe smaller experiences. Like
that's
we
it.
need every game to be
That would
40
be my
hours.
take.
We can.
Yeah,
but Kyle made a really great point.
8 hours.
The smaller experiences don't move the needle enough to be warranted. And
That's
I think
the
he's
problem.
spot on. You make a Gravity Rush or a Little Big Planet or an Astrobot, and only 1 million people buy it, and you got to give it away on places. Like, it doesn't make them any money. Like, that's the thing. I'm so sick and tired of the word margin. I'm so tired of, like, and I'm going to report the news and do the news. And, like, again, like, it's what we do. But, like, I'm getting real tired of the word margin, because all that seems to be focused on is increasing the margin. It's not about delivering great quality experiences. It's not about having a great ecosystem. It's not about even about just being profitable. That's no longer the issue. It's how do we make the 4% 5%? And like that's the sole focus.
Because they're just appeasing to these shareholders who just want to return on their investment.
The next Roblox, the next Fortnite, the next Minecraft. It seems to be like a singular focus on that. Like we've got to get there.
It used to be about making great games and great experiences and making some money on it. Now it's like, how do we
have a diverse selection of titles that make your console and your platform attractive?
Yeah. Now it's how do we milk these fools for everything and then some?
What it feels like, doesn't it? I mean, it really does. It feels like it's like so much of like the conversation around financials and gaming just feels like crypto bro stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just so
it's so frustrating. And that's why I love companies like the company, the team that makes Baldur's Gate. Like they're like, we don't have to we don't have to appease our shareholders. We just make games. Like we're doing this because it's fun and that's what we want to do. And as long as we make a good enough game to keep our people employed, and we're good. Where everybody else is like, oh no. Thanks. You know who I blame? I blame EA. I blame EA for their goddamn Ultimate Teams. Once they did that, and then everything just went downhill from there. It's like, oh my God, we need you to make something like Ultimate Team. And that's where all of EA games went to shit. And then you have, capitalism. Then you have Fortnite.
It felt
Everybody's
like,
like, oh, let's do that.
it felt like to me, and I'm sure this is probably rose-colored glasses. I don't want to sound like the old man on my yawn yelling at the sky. Nobody wants to hear
Why
that.
not?
I understand that. 15 years ago, I felt like the leaders of these corporations like loved games and like wanted to make great games. They wanted to make money, but also just like make great games and have like a
Yes.
library of great games.
Yep.
It just doesn't seem like that's the focus anymore.
It doesn't. It feels like everybody is just a business person and doesn't care about the games they're making. Again, like I said, EA, it wasn't about let's make a great game. It was about how do we put Ultimate Team in everything.
And to throw Xbox a bone, I really like that they made Bleeding Edge and Grounded and Pentiment. Like, I like that's one of my favorite things about them is that they seem to still allow that to happen because it feels like we live in a world where somebody's like, dude, I want to make Valiant Hearts, and everybody's like, fuck that, doesn't make enough money. We need another Hyper Ball or Mecha Ball or Mecha Dome or whatever the hell they're doing. You know, like it's like that's like the depressing part. That's the like, existential dread that you start to see. You're like, oh no. Please stop, guys. Fucking make Infamous.
Right.
Just do
I
that.
thought we were in the business to make things that are fun.
Yeah. That's where I was with you earlier in the Discord. I was like, Dev, just plug me back into the Matrix, man. I just want to go back.
100%.
Plug me back
100%.
in, man. I don't. You know what? Make games I want to play, and I'll buy them. And like that's the end of my need to know about your profit. I don't care anymore. Like who gives a shit
It's
about
called video games, not video margin.
Y'all
like we want to play games and have fun. We don't.
Yeah.
Just
so
sucks.
What do you guys think about the at least the multi-platform talk coming from Mr. PlayStation?
I'm fine with it.
Do you think we'll see? I'm asking more about action. Do you think we'll see faster games come to PC? Maybe back catalog? What do you envision that look manifesting for PlayStation?
Speak on it, Delvin.
More of what we've been seeing. I think we're going to see everything essentially is going to come to at least, to the very least, to PC.
You got to think Helldivers is juicing that momentum. Like, yo, look what happens when you put the game in here.
Yeah, I
think Helldivers is unique.
I do too, but I think to a business person that doesn't understand that, I think they're like, look,
they don't care.
We date and it's sold versus the other one that didn't. I think that's to them, that's all that matters. I think Helldivers is a PC game.
It is 1,000%
selling on PC. Like,
exactly. That's why I say it's unique.
Like, that's just a PC game.
1,000%.
Yeah, but I think the bean counters will use that as ammo to be like, see.
The funny part about that is if you're using that as the bean counters see that, do you see how much more you have to put into the development to make sure that it actually works on PC as well? Because when you're developing for just PlayStation,
there's all work on PC. Like for me, I've got Xbox controller and running into little nuances.
Again, exactly. So like when you're developing for PlayStation, there's no variables.
Anyway, they'll figure it out.
There's no variables. It's just the one system. You're not worried about, do they have an AMD processor? Do they have an NVIDIA card?
And I may be completely wrong on this. I would love to get like a real AAA dev to sit down and tell me this, because I'm sure there's cost in porting it over. But so many studios port so many games all the time. I really think we oversell it sometimes. I'm not saying it's right-click save as, but I'm talking indie studios hit every platform day and date.
Right, but those indie studios aren't building as big of a game, and they're doing it in conjunction. So they're not just porting; they're building for all three at the same time, and that's the difference. Like,
I think the APIs and things have made it easier than ever, and the hardware is closer than ever. I just don't think it's as big a deal as maybe we make it seem to be.
I think it is as big a deal. Hence the reason why, like, you get the ports so much later because of the fact. I do too. It's just a matter of will they, and are we going to be okay waiting as long as we have to for these games to come to both? That's the difference. Like, think about how long it took. Think about how long it took for just.
It might be the same day. You wait a little longer, but again, to me, it's like, are you losing pennies instead of dollars? Right? If you put the game day and date, and it didn't have to be day and date. Say it's 6 months. That's not even that argument. God of War was a huge game, tremendous game, and it really didn't sell that well on PC because it came years later.
Right.
You want to be in that window when people want to buy and play the game.
So
And
think about how long
you'll make more money in that window than it costs to port it. For
we
sure.
have to have one do that, because the problem is, you think about how long it took to make God of War. You're adding on that additional time to make it also for PC. So you add on that additional time to make the game, and if it sells on both,
it says it does with every game. Think about EA does with every game. It's not
but they already have that in place because they've been doing that. When you look at somebody like Naughty Dog, they're not making games on PC.
I don't know what to say, man. Figure it out. I just don't think it's.
I agree with you.
Like 95% of a standard, an industry norm across 95% of the studios, and be like, this great studio that makes the best games in the world, man, we just can't ask them to do it. It's too much. Like I can't get there.
I don't disagree with you. Don't disagree with you. I just think we're gonna have to be okay waiting that much longer for games to come out, and it could be
to begin with. So like, what's another 6 months?
I agree. Not even 6 months. You're talking about probably another year. Like,
I don't think so.
One of the reasons why we might not be seeing any of these games on PlayStation this year, like any sequels, is because maybe they're putting in the extra time to put them on everything.
We didn't talk about that. You just think sequels. I think it mean he tried to reconfirm it. I think he means major brands. I think you're going to get, obviously they have first party games. Was it corded?
No, the reason why I say sequels is because existing brands. That means it's a game that already exists, so it would have to be a sequel. Yeah. So, because again, we're getting
like a big spinoff.
Yeah, we're getting Stellar Blade, for example. We're getting games that are we're getting stuff that is not already an existing brand. I'm not going to count
Stellar Blade. It's not first party. He's talking about first party content.
Right. We're not getting any sequels. We're not getting anything that already exists. That doesn't mean yeah, exactly. We're not getting Ghost of Tsushima 2. But we might get something that doesn't already. We might get new IP.
I think I do think like Concord, new IP.
Right. So there might be something that we don't know is coming out this year. Like, we have no idea what like Bend is working on. There's a possibility that there's something that Bend is working on comes out if it's new IP.
Maybe disagree. I mean, I read his statement. I heard him say his statement, and then I read a bunch of blogs riff on his statement. My takeaway is that there'll be like no major first party game coming out this year.
That's possible.
I mean, that's how I took it. Do you have a different?
I didn't take it that way. I just took it as there's not going to be anything from an existing brand, something that we know about. I think
if they have first party content, which they do, I think you're getting Concord, maybe like an Astrobot. I think it's stuff like that.
I would probably say, wouldn't Stellar Blade be the game that they're trying to push?
I
know it's second party, but they don't.
I'm not trying to tell you doom and gloom. They've got Final Fantasy. PlayStation.
Right.
Yeah, I was getting to that.
It doesn't matter.
I was getting to that. I don't think they need to.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say need to. I think a lot of. Hang on. Oh, that's interesting. It's interesting you guys take that spin. Because there were a lot of people that were angry about those comments. There are a lot of people.
Too bad.
A lot of people have been waiting on PlayStation to have first party games, and they're like, "Yeah, we'd have none this year." And you guys are like, "It's totally fine." I'm not saying it's doom and gloom, but I'm not going to say it's totally fine.
I think it's totally fine from the fact that
it's of the scale. I think we're somewhere in the middle.
I think
I will get back to what me and Dev were saying this
I wouldn't say it's
the beginning
a
of the year. I feel like we kind of had an idea what we were getting when we got into the year, like Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy. That's kind of they told us some of the
things. But I recall last fall us constantly talking about, well, PlayStation hasn't announced anything. They're gonna have the big state of play. They're announce some games. Like, what could be there? And we're talking about Ghost of Tsushima 2 and all these things. And it's like
you were talking about that. If you remember, me and Delvin were like, "We're not. There's nothing coming out this year, and we're totally okay with it." Like our list. Do you not remember? Like our first show this year, we were talking about what games we're excited about. You had 50 games, and me and Delvin had like 7.
That's
like,
true. I did think about that. This with both of these statements. I thought about you guys talking about how this year wasn't that great for you, and I still think it's gonna be a great year. Neither of these statements from either company has deterred me. I think I have a great year ahead of me. I'm very excited. I
will go even further. I will say, even if I thought something was coming out, I think they would announce something and say it's coming out 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was thinking in my mind. I was like, they'll announce something like Ghost of Tsushima 2. It was 2025.
Wolverine 2025.
All the things that they had. Like I wasn't expecting Wolverine, but man, I thought they had some remaster or something.
I didn't think there was going to be anything other than Final Fantasy VII.
That is wild. Like Nintendo's out here cranking out 12 games a year. PlayStation's like, we're taking a gap year.
Because we've seen it. Like We've seen, and the
yeah.
thing is, there's plenty of fucking games to play. Like, it's fine. And I would much rather them take the time to make the games than to try to rush something out just so they can fill a calendar year. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I think we've gotten to the point where we're so spoiled as gamers that if there aren't 17 games coming out, it's a problem. Like, there's so many games. We're like Final Fantasy VII, Stellar Blade. I'm sure there's something else unannounced that we don't know that'll be here.
Now we see maybe why they wrote the checks to Silent Hill and Stellar Blade and Final Fantasy.
100%. Also,
Now
Destiny.
you really
Destiny 2 has a major expansion coming out this year too.
We need content. Here's a bunch of money.
Yeah, that's kind of what they've been saying.
But they've
too.
always done that.
Isn't Death Stranding coming out? Does that not count?
Is that this
Death
year?
Stranding 2 coming out? Is it?
Did it say 2024?
I don't think that's this year.
Really? Wow.
Did it say 2024?
I have no idea. You know, I didn't.
Me either.
I don't think it is.
And if it's not, okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Like, it's okay.
I was just trying to think if that was one of the announcements. I was like, that would count. But I
It would count.
But
that would count. Destiny 2 has a major expansion coming out this year. That's a first party studio.
Like,
Like,
here's the thing.
they'll be okay.
I told you Astrobot was coming out, and I still believe it. Does that count? Because it counts for me.
Sure. If it's a first party game, I don't know.
Astrobot and Stellar Blade would do more for me to want a PlayStation than like anything that's happened this entire generation.
But again, like, you're not the PlayStation person. You're looking at the two PS5 people who are fine. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
I think the people who are upset are more the people who are like, I need a reason to get a PS5, or why do I have my PS5? My PS5 isn't my main console. I think the vast majority of like PS5 PlayStation gamers are just like, we've got stuff.
Well, I've
We
seen
got
different
Stellar
takes.
Blade, we got Final Fantasy.
Again,
we got
are
Pablo
those
from
people
Silent
who are
Hills.
major PS5 players?
They're in the PlayStation Reddit. That sounds about as major.
See,
as
I
it could be to me.
can't always trust that because people be going there just to talk
Well,
shit.
who are you trusting? I mean, we've done this before. I think you're extrapolating a sample out of your like 13 friends and applying it to millions.
Oh,
of people.
none of my friends are PlayStation gamers. None of my friends are
I
gamers.
saw a lot of people that were pretty upset that PlayStation doesn't have any major first-party game coming this year.
Yeah, I saw mainly on Twitter a completely
everybody was
different
like,
take. Just
totally
like,
fine.
like
You didn't see any of that. Everybody was just like, "This is good news."
everything that I saw was like not necessarily good news. It's just it's fine because we have all of these other
we
games
definitely
coming.
looked at different social media for sure.
Yeah, because we got Rise of the Ronin, we've got Final Fantasy VII, we've got Stellar Blade.
I'm not. I told
Again,
you. I'm not trying to paint it.
Isn't
as
the
bad.
show
I
coming
told
out this
you.
year again?
Have
You've
Final
got the
Fantasy
show, like,
Yeah, you
and
still-
Final Fantasy
and
one is
that's
all you need. I'm not trying to say it's bad. I feel like you're trying to paint me saying it. I'm just telling
Oh,
you
no,
that
no,
I saw
not at
people
all.
that were.
and I'm telling you what I saw. What I saw
all it
was
was.
people not being upset about it, being like, "There's all these other games coming out. It's not that big a
Okay.
deal."
Okay. So the D Life says these algorithms different than ours. Chat. Did anybody else see
1000%.
that? Is it just me? Like, is it just me? Because
It's just you and Daniel.
Here's the thing, Dev. I don't think that's the
I will
take.
say
Man.
this.
Like, I really don't. That's
I will
not
That's
the
say
take.
this.
that's the only take I've seen. And we definitely do
I
not
will
follow
say
the
this.
same people.
Yeah, I guess not. Like, I just want to like go
I've
YouTube,
seen-
like just go look up PlayStation 5 announcement and like recently uploaded YouTube. That's not the take.
I'm not on YouTube. I'm not on Reddit. I'm only on Twitter.
I saw on X people talking about
First
it
of
for like
all,
a day,
don't
and
fuck
then
call it
download
X.
real quick.
Don't call it
Tell
X.
me, Delvin.
Don't do that.
Delvin, you are the pulse of the people. You know what the kids are doing. What did you see?
I saw like it was talked about for like a day. And then people, I guess that's kind of how
They just move
social
over.
media works.
Yeah, I mean,
now.
that's
They just
how it
kind
works,
of moved.
yeah. That's how it works.
Yeah, kind of what it was. Like I saw people make a big deal out of it for one day, and it was like, all right,
Yeah.
what else we're gonna
You got to
complain
do
about?
some
Okay.
really some. You got to be really to trend for multiple days. I mean, that's going to be big news.
And that'll never happen with PlayStation. Most of like they just it's just whatever. Like they just it doesn't cause that big a deal for that long. They're like,
Sure.
moving on.
Yeah.
I saw more people talking about the X. I saw more places
Same.
people talking about the Xbox stuff than I seen them talk about the PlayStation stuff. Like, all right.
Same.
Okay.
Positively
Yeah,
and
again,
negatively. By
I
the
want
way,
to double down. I told you. I told you this before. I told you this last year. You guys, PlayStation is just fine. They have exclusive Final Fantasy game. Done. It's like Tears of the Kingdom. That's it. They can do the whole year on one game, and like everybody's totally happy. Like that base
1000%.
is
they
being
have the
served.
exclusive Final Fantasy game.
Right? Yeah.
Out of
Like
all the
like-
Final Fantasy
yeah, I
games you
get it.
want,
I'm not saying
that's
it's
the
bad.
one.
I was just pointing out that I saw some other reactions to that news. I don't care.
Is
You're
it all?
definitely gonna.
In those games.
You're
All I care
definitely gonna
about is
have
when does
other
Stellar
reactions.
Blade- When does Stellar Blade come to PC is the only news I care to know. Like
I'm
I
just
get that
hoping
game
for
on
spite it
PC.
doesn't come for 2 years, just out of spite,
Damn,
pure spite.
we're supposed to be brothers in arms, you and I.
Not on that one, because I
Damn.
want you to have a PlayStation just because.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not. Like, I was trying to, we brought this up in the Discord. I don't mean to take a tangent, but I thought it was interesting. They're talking about the Xbox handheld. It's been a big thing in the Xbox chat.
The Xbox
Chase
handheld
was
is called
like-
the ROG Ally.
And Chase was like, I can't wait to fast forward to Donnie gets an Xbox handheld. And he may be totally right. I'm not saying he's wrong. But, like, in my mind today, I'm like, I just don't see me buying another console. Even if it's a handheld. Like, I want to have the Switch handheld. That's it. Like, for sure. I'm super stoked for the Switch too. It would have to really be like new ground for me to be like, I also need an Xbox handheld. Like, and I honestly can't imagine like what it would be. Like, what if they slammed a Series X into a handheld, which is by no means like even plausible on what in the forefront of the next 3 to 5 years? Is that even
Right.
reality? It's not even reality, right?
No.
But what if they did a Series X in a handheld? It could do 4K and light ray tracing at 30, 1440p at 60 frames a second
For
full
30 minutes.
compatibility, full console. Let's say it has 3-4 hour battery life. It's everything you could want it to be. Like, am I buying that for $500?
Yes, you are.
Why?
$700,
Why would I?
$800.
Why would I buy that?
Right.
I play
I don't know.
every bit of that on my console and my PC now. I have a ROG Ally. You're like, oh, well, it plays it at 4K. I could just remote play it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think that,
GeForce Now.
and I'm not saying that it shouldn't appeal to him or somebody else. Like, if you're out there, like, I can't wait for the Xbox handheld, I get it. But, like, for me in my specific shoes, I'm like, I don't know. And, like, I'm not going to get another Series X, especially if they get rid of the disk drive. The disk drive might be the thing that I use my Series X most for.
Right.
Like, if they remove the disk drive, that's it. You're done. Like, I'm not doing that again. And you would have to seriously compete with my PC. Or I guess maybe if I wanted to put it on another TV. I mean, I do use my thing for convenience, but I use my Series X for like sports games and racing games. Like, I'm not too worried about massive frame rate boosts or ray tracing on my console. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't really fit into my. That's where I'm at.
Because you're
What
not a
about you
PlayStation
guys?
gamer.
It's
You're not a
me. What
PlayStation
do you
gamer.
guys?
That's why.
You got a PlayStation 5 Pro coming out soon. They're already talking about next gen. What do you think of the dude saying we're in the later half of the life cycle? What do you guys think? Let me rephrase this. I think we have a question about this. Do we have a question about the life cycle of the generation?
We do.
I think we do.
Then we'll save it.
Let me
We'll save it
find
for
it.
that. Never mind. Disregard. Let's move on.
We can bring the question in now. Shit.
Yeah, just bringing the question
Read the
in now.
question.
I gotta find it. So Deadman 1106. He says, so Sony is apparently saying they are halfway through the PS5's life cycle. Do you guys feel that this generation of consoles have been lackluster compared to other generations?
Before you answer the generation thing, I want to hear what you guys have to think about new consoles on the way.
Feels like par for the course for me. I mean, quite honestly, outside of the PS3 generation, which was just long as hell, we're in year 4. This console generation lasting 6-7 years or less feels like the back half for me. It makes sense. COVID kind of just screwed everything up, but it doesn't shock me. It's not like we just stopped developing. We didn't stop trying to make the next thing just because COVID happened. So it makes sense. I get it.
Seemed like time flying. Like, yeah.
How do you feel, Dalvin, about just the prospect of new console coming in 2 years? You excited about new console?
I'm not excited for it. I'm still enjoying the console I have, and I get it, because if you really look at the stuff we got so far for the console, you're like, yeah, it kind of makes sense. We got God of War, we got Ghost of Tsushima, we got a lot of stuff. Like Spider-Man, like all the big guns have came out. Like,
We did not get Ghost of Tsushima. That came out PS4, sir.
Oh yeah, that did come out PS4.
God of War
Well,
also
we
came out
got-
PS4, didn't it? And so
It
did
did,
Spider-Man.
but I was talking about God of War 2. Like, that was actually a PS5.
Yeah,
where
God of
Ghost
War
of
2
Tsushima was a PS4 title
Yeah,
that
no,
got
that could-
ported.
Title got ported. Yeah, it kind of feels like we got a lot of stuff already with this generation.
Really?
I mean,
It
Wow.
does. We got
Again, I'm
Spider-Man,
I was counting it.
Returnal,
I was counting it up, and I was like,
God of War 2.
to me,
kind of a
this
lot.
gen on both consoles, like this gen just doesn't cut it. Like if we're nearing the end, I'm like, this generation blows.
I think this is the new norm, and it's because games take so much longer to make now.
Sure,
Like they cost more, they take longer. It just it I get it. Like,
because remember, like, did you guys see it? I tried to count all of the PS4 games we got in the first 4 years on PS4, and it was like twice as many games. It was like so many more games.
It's just a different generation. Like this generation is
and
different.
That's, to Deadman's question. Now we're talking about how do we compare it to the other generations. I think there's a quality versus quantity argument to make, and the games may be bigger production now, but you definitely get less of them.
Yeah.
For some people, that they're totally fine with that. For me, I'd take more games. I would take more games at lesser quality, just have more experiences. When I look back,
I'm the exact opposite.
When I look back, when I compare to like what we got on Xbox 3 or what did Stingray? He was like, remember we got 3 Grand Theft Autos in like 5 years? I'm like, oh my God. It just seems like a dream now. You know, we've waited for Grand Theft Auto for like 15 years. You know, it's just like goodness. Yeah, I think this generation. I mean, it shouldn't surprise anybody. I abandoned my console like 4 months after buying it. Like this generation hasn't done much for me at all.
I'm kind of in a weird space because part of me kind of agrees with you, but then part of me is like, damn, we did get the Steam Deck this generation. We did get there's so much stuff that I like to do.
You're right. I'm not counting and the Switch is not in my math at the moment. If we count Switch, I'm really happy with the generation. Right.
And that's why you're excited for the Switch 2. The Switch 2, like, you are not a traditional console gamer. You are a Nintendo gamer. You are playing Nintendo. That is who you are, and that is the type of experience you want. You want a bunch of small games. That's what Nintendo provides. The console space...
I'm loving it. Xbox is like...
The console space is not that. It has turned into...
Nintendo's
let me give you this 70-hour epic. Yeah,
Every month you get a game. It's like, this is perfect.
Because Xbox is trying to compete with Sony. What does Sony do? They create these AAA third-person action adventure games. That is what Sony does. Those games take a lot longer to make.
Yeah.
Those games take a lot longer to make, and therefore you don't get as many of them. That is not the type of game you're interested in. You want to get in and get out. You don't want to spend a whole lot of time unless it's fucking Valhalla.
I mean, I play Tears of the Kingdom and Valhalla. I'm like, that's not necessarily true.
Yeah, again, there's like 1 or 2 that you'll do that for, but for the most part, again, you want a bunch of different experiences.
Steady road.
For me, that's just not how I game. Like, I don't have that kind of time.
Games a year.
I don't have that kind of time.
Games in a month, and you play most in a year.
Yeah, because you also want a bunch of different experiences. I want something that I can get lost in for a long time. I play just very differently. I want to go find a world and get lost in that. So having less games and just a good quality game that I can sink my teeth into and sit in for a while, that's the kind of gaming experience I want, which is why, yes, I will buy the next PS5 because that's where the games that I want to play are.
Bruce says the second half of PS4 really gave us the classics that we view them as now. Could be the same this gen.
1000%. I think about the back half of PS4 like, holy man. Final Fantasy VII, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2.
Shenmue 3. Last Guardian.
First of all,
the legend.
Stop it.
What? I'm just
Stop it. So yeah, like I'm not excited for another PlayStation because I don't feel like paying for another one in 2 years, but that is, I will buy one.
Yeah, my read on the situation is that people don't feel super satiated by their console experience thus far. Now, to Bruce's point, that could change. We're not done yet. We got years ahead. Wolverine comes out and it's a banger. Fable comes out and it's awesome, right? Perfect Dark makes it out. I don't even think Perfect Dark hits this gen at this point. So like, yeah, but like maybe they can turn it around. Maybe they can turn it around. But
GTA 6
far, at this point, is GTA 6 this gen?
Yep. It'll be this gen. Yeah, it'll be this gen.
It's the end of this gen,
PlayStation new console next year.
GTA 6 will be this gen.
So I could totally see GTA 6 launching next hardware in 2026.
It'll be on the next hardware. It'll be the remaster.
No, I'm telling you, I think it could launch next hardware in 2026.
It'll come at the end of whatever this generation is.
Let me ask you this.
Just like it did the PS3.
I would assume, maybe incorrectly so, that the next hardware, whatever it is, on both fronts will be fully backwards compatible and will be just the same path we've been on, the PC-like approach to the next hardware. Do you agree?
Fully?
Yeah.
It depends.
They can't go away from that.
Yeah, I think it'll be fully.
The first company that's like, your games that you bought aren't here, that's the company that goes away. Like, that's a huge mistake.
See,
people will revolt to that.
Will we still have disc drive for the next consoles? Like, that's just going to stay around?
No, they may go digital. They may go digital, but still, I expect some part of account backwards compatibility will follow you. Right? They're not just going to cut you off. We're starting a new generation.
They'll do just what they did with this new PS5. You will be able to buy the digital version, and here's this disc add-on that is going to cost you more than if you were to buy it together.
I think that's what Xbox. Everybody whined about the Xbox being digital, and I got a feeling that they've got a disc drive too.
There'll be a disc drive add-on. It's just going to be massively expensive, so they don't take such a margin hit on it to try to force you to go digital.
60% of their games are being sold digital anyway.
Right.
That margin continues to shrink. Xboxes, if PlayStation's at 66%, Xbox has got to be in the 80s at minimum.
Mm-hmm.
And I would guess in the 90s. I would guess Xbox is like 95% digital.
It's got to be.
And it's got to be. It's got to be.
I thought I read somewhere where one of the, I think it might be Best Buy taking games out of their stores.
Yeah, no, a lot of places are. Yeah. Because why? There's no margin in them. You don't make money selling games.
They're selling them online. You're still buying brand new games online, but there's no reason to dedicate the floor space. Isn't worth it. They can sell more different stuff with the floor space, so they're taking them out of the stores.
Yeah,
and that's not just game. That's all that's physical.
That's all physical media. Because here's the other problem: it's also a huge loss category because people steal them. And then other problem is if you don't have them on the floor, people don't buy them because they think you don't have them. So it's better to just not even deal with it.
You put them on the floor. Think about how many stores are in Florida. They got to transport all of that. That's all the transportation. That's all the freight. They got to move it. They got to pack it. It's much better to just put it all in a warehouse, let people buy it online, and just ship it out of the warehouse.
Yep.
It's cheaper. That's what they're doing. And I expect most stores will follow. Most stores will follow suit. Yep.
Yeah, digital is the future. They'll give you a disc drive, and I do think that there'll be backward compatibility because there's absolutely no reason. Like if PS5 can play PS4 games, there's no reason for the PS6 to not play both.
The only thing that I was thinking is if like there's a giant tech shift that we don't foresee. But here's the thing: I think where we are with tech now, they'll have a compatibility layer. Like it'll be a part of the engineering. Like if somebody switches from ARM or from AMD to ARM,
Sony is doing AMD still.
They'll figure it out. Like
Sony said, they're still doing AMD. They're only partnering with AMD, so AMD will be the whatever's in their next console. So it'll still be a system on a chip. It'll be backwards compatible with PS5 and PS4.
With others. And if they're doing a handheld, I would think that they're going to go talk to NVIDIA. There's no reason to do an ARM handheld or an AMD handheld.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's the only thing that gives me any qualms over compatibility. But again, we're at a place now, technology-wise, where like ARM on mobile has Windows compatibility because it's so popular that they've just like worked on it and figured it out. And I think that they would just figure that stuff out if they had to.
Yeah. Backwards compatibility for me also is not a thing that I care about because I still have all my old consoles. I'm not going to play the old stuff anyway.
Agree with me? I think the first company that tries to pull the plug on that like really shoots themselves in the foot. Like I don't think Xbox can get away with it. They don't have enough clout to get away with it. If Xbox came out and said, "This is the next Xbox," and none of your games are here, that I think that'd be the end of Xbox.
Xbox can't because that's something that they're like huge on. Like this is the thing. This is where we kind of built our name. Like, yeah, man, your whole library. Yeah. I don't know that if Sony did it, I don't know if there'd be an uproar, but I don't know if it would be enough of an uproar to make a difference.
I think Sony could get away with it, but I think it would feel it. It would dent their momentum early.
It would piss people off, but the reality is they're still going to buy the console.
Probably.
So
I think that's just where we are with consoles. Like people are just kind of settled in.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's the
it's gonna be
console.
really
That's the
hard.
console person. They're gonna buy the console. They don't want to deal with the goddamn PC. They're just gonna buy the console because it's what they know. It's what's easy,
And
and
I
it's
still
where
think
my
people are
games are
going to
gonna
switch
be.
much. Probably because of the digital library, but just in general, I think after a few decades of it, at least the older customers, like the new customers, they'll have to make their decision. But those of us been doing it for 4 or 5, 6 console cycles in a row, I think they're just kind of settled. They're like, this is
Yep.
what I'm going to do.
1000%.
Anyway, off the business and console gens and all that, we've got some other headlines before we get into our other segments. My first headline I'm very excited about. EA College Football updated its logo and its Twitter profile, and then they released a teaser trailer where they announced that a full reveal for EA College Football 25 is coming out in May, and the game is coming out, quote, this summer. Reportedly, this game will be released in mid-July. And I'm very excited. And today, the schools started to get on the fun, and they all started to release covers of their teams and their players on the cover of the game, which was awesome. We saw Colorado and Ohio State. We saw GSU. We saw Hawaii get in it. Like all kinds of, even the small schools are in. I have read from the Matt Brown, who's been like really covering this, I think the deepest, that every FBS schools included 134 teams will be in the game. And
cool.
I'm stoked. Like I'm so excited. And I think a lot of people are, and I can't wait. I'm very excited.
I haven't played a college. Yeah, buy it. Yeah, please do. I haven't played a college football game like in earnest since the one with Michael Vick on the cover.
Console. It's on PC. I'll buy it on console and PC. If they put it on Switch, I'm buying 3 copies.
You might never get another shot at it again.
This game. We'll see. We'll see how much they want to sell me, but stoked.
Yeah, my Madden friends are really excited until I told them, like, you idiots only play online. You're not, and you like playing with the worst teams. Like, you're not going to beat Appalachian State and have to face Alabama every fucking game.
Appalachian State released the cover today.
Yeah, so they were like, oh, I didn't think about that. So I don't know how excited they are about college football.
What do you mean you're not going to be Appalachian State facing Alabama?
Because, again, they play online. Yeah. They only really play online. You don't want to be Appalachian State versus Alabama, like the disparity in the ability. Yeah, they're not going to do that because they want to win, not just show up. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to get lost in like 10 seasons of franchise.
Right. Mode. Again, because you're not playing online. They really only play online.
Start Madden with Mercer and build it all the way up. Start from the bottom and take it up.
Start from the bottom, now you're here.
How excited! Yeah. Actually, that was said at my graduation at Mercer.
That's what they said.
My Mercer class was the year that Mercer sent Duke home in the tournament, March Madness, and our basketball coach brought that up at the thing.
Remember that.
We started from the bottom, now we're here. That was funny. It was very funny. They had shirts and everything. Yeah. So you guys, are either of you getting college football?
Absolutely not.
Into the hype at all?
Yes, because it's going to be worth money one day.
That's true. Hey, if you got copies of NC 14, the 14 is still worth money today. Now, you can sell 14 for a pretty penny.
Yeah, now.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Dead Island 2 comes to Steam in April. Should be great on your Steam Deck. Embracer has canceled 29 games as they shed 1,400 employees during their restructure so far. They mention divestiture as a way of improving their balance sheet. So they're going to sell off some people.
Jesus.
Maybe they'll sell off Crystal. Hopefully they'll sell off Crystal and Tomb Raider. I don't think so because they have that deal with Amazon. Or maybe they'll just sell Tomb Raider to Amazon. And now, like, how sad does that sound?
Sounds terrible.
That might be the deal. That might be the divestiture they're talking about. Amazon Games exclusive Tomb Raider. Play
it on Luna.
Like Crystal Amazon. It's like, oh my God.
Look what they've done to my boy.
Poor Tomb Raider. Somebody save Tomb Raider.
Please.
Every time you look at Amazon,
not Aspire.
Right.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah. 29 unannounced games. Why buy all those studios? You just cancel all the games.
Well,
Exactly.
because they didn't get that Saudi money. That oil
No, we
money
know.
didn't come through.
I know. We know why.
Damn
but
shame.
Still,
They put a WB.
someone needs to head over to Austria or wherever their headquarters and get their CEO like on record. Why did you buy 800 studios just to fire everybody? In
Right.
what world does
WB.
this make good sense for you to do?
They're gonna Batgirl it.
Gaming companies just should have said, you know what? We're making all this money because everybody's at home. Let's just kind of sit on this instead of blowing everything up and then having to get rid of it when it all comes crashing down. Just
Pressing show.
just sit on it.
tonight. Oh, I missed this. I
Yeah,
can't
it
see
is.
says this goes back to our console talk. I think they start releasing consoles like PC, cell phones, upgrading little by little every 2 years with the next big one coming in 7 to 10 years. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do
No.
think we may see an existence in the future where consoles are like cell phones, and that they're
Well, they
more
kind of
treated-
tried that a little bit.
Well, I just think like they're treated more like, what OS do you prefer? Like what hardware? Like which camera is better? Right? Like for the most part, your iPhone, like the apps are like mostly the same, Apple and Android. You know, like there's like subtle differences between the two. You may have a preference, but you know, like I think that might be the case for like hardware in the future. Not the next one, but in the future. Especially if more of these games keep going multi-platform. I mean, if that's really if that's the thing in the future, like how will we differentiate between the consoles? It will be like which controller do you like and which OS do you like more? You know,
The Sony home computer. Bringing back the Vio.
does everything just go PC?
I mean, that's basically what it turns into.
Yeah,
And then at some
Especially if you
point, you become just a third-party manufacturer.
raising as the price creeps up, you're
Mm-hmm.
getting there. You're really getting there, and it's like, why even do this anymore?
Again, eventually it all just goes cloud. Like you can, and Sony is no longer making hardware. They're just like, we've bought enough studios. We make these games. We don't need to sell the hardware. So we're not divesting all the money into research and development for a console. There's the PC and we have the cloud. Here are the PlayStation games and you play them on whatever fucking device you have.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the news. 2 hours in, long show.
Sweet. All right. The section that Delvin hates the most. It's the Rude Days 93 segment.
Bullshit.
Used to be
our
the gold
segment.
coin segment until we realized the gold coin was a farce. He wasn't real.
Fraud.
Never happened.
You
Fraud.
son of a bitch.
You made it up.
Look,
That's
look,
that white
not real.
privilege you talk.
look, look,
It went
Negro.
there. It never happened.
You come with the disc tape. You let me be your Spliff Star to your Buster Rhymes, and then we can talk. Gold coin can be resurrected. You know what I'm saying?
That
I'm just
might happen.
saying.
Rude Days getting reckless.
He called us
Oh.
gold coin. We didn't realize he meant like gold chocolate medallion.
Yeah, yeah. You just open up his chocolate. You know what I'm saying? Look,
Rude Days. I come to work. Rude Days ain't got no goddamn questions. No segment. He just like, hey, here's the points. I'm not here. Here's 20 points.
I mean, it's not even that serious. Like, it's not that serious. But real talk. Like, just write the diss track. Just write the diss track. Make it happen.
It's
All right.
gonna happen. It's
All
gonna
right.
Poor Tara.
Tara, I
Yeah,
would
she's
never
been
lie
lied
to
to.
you.
Oh, you
That's a
were
lie.
Yeah.
That's a lie right there.
He's a piece
He
of
lied
shit.
to
I
you
lie
worse
him all
than
the
Phil
time.
Spencer lied to Xbox fans this week. Okay, just fucking straight up lied.
Why? Nah, absolutely not.
All right, so scoring update. First off, after consideration, Devin's appeal for the score change on Kill the Justice League has been granted, giving everyone a point. You're welcome, gentlemen.
Nice.
Good job,
Doctor.
Def.
Doctor.
As for the rest, everyone got the over with Helldivers 2, right?
Nice.
I was wrong with the over on Foam Stars. I took a chance, just trying to score a point. You know, you got to make it interesting, you know?
That's what got
And
me in
then,
trouble.
yeah, Donnie and Devin got the underwrite for Banisher's Ghost of Eden. And as of right now, Donnie and Devin have the over wrong on Skull and Bones as it sits as a 55, which is not a 55, it's a 64. But he says he's going to give it a few more days, though, before calling it, because right now there were only 4 reviews. As of now, there's like 6.
I demand a recap.
So he says he doesn't expect to jump, but he's giving it some time. So right now, we're good. And we're going to get that point because it's going to go higher than 59. It's higher than 59 now. I don't think it'll go back. I don't think it'll go down. So right now, the score stands Donnie 7, Devin 6, and Delvin 5.
5 seems generous.
Yeah, it does seem
Shouldn't have
generous.
5.
You shouldn't have 5. You should be like 3.
Really?
But he says no scenarios this week. But for next
piece of
week, there
shit.
will be a special scenario that may involve a certain Australia event.
Crocodile
You know what that is? Huh? Perth, man. WWE.
Oh yeah,
that.
that's right.
How the hell did I pick that up? And y'all are supposed to be the WWE
Yeah,
people.
Perth Elimination Chamber. Yeah.
Crocodile
Yeah.
Dundee.
Because I don't pay attention. I just wait till the Bleacher app tells me the pay-per-view's happening.
No.
And I'm like, okay.
He just
I'm not like scheduling
rigging
on my
Alexis'
calendar.
shit over
I'm not
here.
counting down the
Blue
days.
days.
I mean, I wasn't counting down the days, but I've seen that like enough to know that it was in Australia.
I can't wait for Roman Reigns to pin Cody again.
It's gonna be great.
I'm
Piece of
so
shit.
excited. I'm
It's
so
gonna
like
be
I,
great.
I want it so bad.
I'm the white guy, and you're caping for Cody Rhodes again. Here we go with this nonsense. You
here's the
keep
thing.
caping for the pale
Here's the
people.
thing. Everybody's expecting all the run-ins and the I'm talking clean. Clean.
Piece.
Just a cemented victory.
Layeth
I
the
hope
smacketh
Jesus
down.
cancels your Christmas. That's what I hope.
I'm telling you,
Oh,
that's
Jesus
real
just said,
wrestling.
"You don't have
That's
Christmas."
heat. That's X-Pac heat.
Nah.
I want the heat. I want the Dusty Rhodes heat. I want the Von Erichs heat. I want people trying to jump the barrier. I want people fucking mad.
What crimes
people
committed?
furious. I'm talking
Absolutely.
I'm serious. They're going to
I'm
tear
with
I
the
gotta
place
watch that movie. You
apart.
just reminded me.
People are
They
going to
said,
be mad as
I gotta
hell.
watch the Iron
Fuck
Claw
his
suit.
story. He ain't
I know,
finishing
right?
shit. All right.
Your story is over.
Yeah.
Finished.
We're finishing it for you.
Roman retains reigns. I'm telling you.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
He's the
Again,
best.
Delvin, why do you keep caping for these white people? First it's Bauer, now it's Cody Rhodes. Like, what's the deal? You over
Why
here
do
looking
you
like
hate
Uncle
greatness?
Ruckus.
Why do you hate greatness?
Who? Cody
Been
Rhodes is
years.
greatness.
Been
Is
a
he?
champ for years?
He ain't winning nothing.
He has both champions. He's so great. They had to make a losers championship. That's how great he is.
Wow, this is.
And you just want to give it. You just want him to give it away.
He's not
Just
giving it away.
because.
He's
Just because you
gonna lose it.
fans, because the Cody crybabies out here just will
The Cody
listen.
crybabies. Oh man, that was
I'm telling
great.
you, it was good.
That was great.
Rock was on.
Finish his story.
Rock was on.
Get out of here.
In the little promo thing that they did, the little event, Rock was on. That was Rocky again. I was like, yo, here comes Rock. Look out.
The corporation.
So good.
This is just like this. I see why this is like this. This is just like
Tribal
this
chief.
goddamn podcast. The corporation against the little man. You guys conspire against me with that bullshit y'all did. Hey, we're gonna get a whole bunch of points. We're gonna cheat. We're gonna work
We're
together.
the little
against
man?
the
Nobody's
No,
We're the
I'm
little man.
What is
No,
cheating?
I'm the little man.
No. Do you see
We're gonna
your
work
follower
together.
count? How many podcasts you're on? You're the corporation.
No, I
We
am
are
not
the indie
corporation.
team. We're indie.
I am
You're
not-
corporation.
ECW.
I am
Yeah.
not. No. That is not how that works at all.
The Delvin Cox
absolutely.
experience.
You ever
Our
heard of Delvin
podcast
Cox?
ain't named after us.
You have
No,
your
no.
own Patreon for yourself?
Right.
You
Right.
had a
The-
Patreon.
No, we don't.
we ain't got
You had
nothing.
one.
This is
You
not
have
do
one
something.
just for you.
the
Your
Delvin
personal-
Cox experience. This is the play some video games. Like, we're not named after nothing. This is, you are the corporation, sir. It's like putting your name on the
Play
tower.
These video games. No, that's how you're not gonna get this
Wow.
over me. You guys trying to scam me, trying to trick the system.
I want it. I want it so bad. I just want full heat. You thought people were heated when Brock broke the streak. You let Roman come out and just bury Cody.
They might riot. They might.
Let them.
Philadelphia. Oh, they might riot.
And they still gonna show up. And they still gonna show
Here's
up.
the thing, the ratings would never be higher for the next
Exactly.
Oh
They
man,
might
they would
riot.
tune
They
in
might
like
push it.
the Raw
Let
after
'em.
Mania would be nuts. It'd be the best.
Oh my God, this is just upsetting.
Is it?
Thank you. I can't. They are capping big time. Just big time.
No, he's saying you're caping for the white man. That's what you're doing. You're caping for Cody Rhodes. You're the Cody crybaby.
No. This is absurd.
What do you think's gonna happen, Delvin? Are we gonna have a tag match? Be Cody Roman? What's gonna
Hey,
happen?
we are getting that tag match. We're getting that tag match. I think
We're
we'll
gonna
get
do
the tag match night
Tag
one,
match night one and the other one.
and I think Cody's gonna lose night one.
Have you seen anything from SmackDown tonight? Did Brock do anything or anything like that?
I have not.
I haven't seen anything.
No,
Yet.
I've been here podcasting.
So I just didn't know if you had Twitter open or something.
That is the rule.
You know he don't
Podcast
multitask like that.
Every night there's wrestling, I'm podcasting with you.
SmackDown is trending.
Is
Like,
SmackDown trending?
SmackDown is trending.
I did see somebody say something that quote heel Rock.
Oh, The Rock joined the Bloodline.
Ah, there it is. I've been saying this from the get-go. When everybody was like, I hate WWE, and I can't believe they're doing this to Cody, and I can't believe The Rock. And I was like, dude, do you not see what's? I've been saying it from the get-go. Delvin, you can back me up on this. I was right, at least on this one. I was like, dude, Rock's gonna join the Bloodline. Like I saw this coming from a mile away.
Yeah,
I was like, this is totally a work.
Come
on, guys. Catch up.
Even if you watch the press conference, it said the High Chief, what it was, Rocky Johnson.
Yeah. And what they're going to do is Rock's going to take over, just like when Rock with the Nation, and Roman's going to be the cast-off, and they're going to end up crossing. Like this is wrestling 101. People were so mad. I can't believe they're doing this. People got to stop watching WWE, burying Cody again.
You want to hear it get booed? Want to hear Rock get booed? I can make it happen.
I've been hearing that for a long time.
They booed him.
You broke the all-time record for the largest gathering of trailer park trash The Rock has ever seen.
This is the whole boat. This is great. This is great.
Now, if you didn't like that, you're going to love this.
Roman beat Cody again. Do it again.
Finally. Oh, you want to boo that, huh? Are you sure you want to boo The Rock? Finally, your life has meaning. Finally, you and your 50 wives will have a story to tell. And you know what I'm talking about. You'll have a story to tell your 600 inbred grandchildren one day.
Damn. Rock's cooking.
And that is what it's like to look at greatness in the flesh, because finally, The Rock has come back to Salt Lake City.
Even as heel as he's being, they can't not cheer him.
I appreciate that people are booing him, but yet they still say his goddamn catchphrase.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's The Rock.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they love him. Was Roman in the ring with him?
No.
Probably.
Oh, he was on his own.
Actually, yes, he was. No, it was him, the Usos, and Paul Heyman.
Is that main event?
I like the story they're telling with him, by the way.
That media event, I love that like Roman just fell in the background.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He just became
one of the guys.
Brother.
Yeah. Like
Little
that's
bro.
great.
Or the goons, as Cody called them.
It's gonna be like Jay. Rock's gonna be talking, and then Roman's gonna interrupt. He's gonna step in. He's gonna step out of line, just like Jay did to Roman. And it's gonna do the whole thing again. It's theater. It's gonna be cinema. It's perfect.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be.
Roman's gonna end up having to go get Jay to help him.
Yep. This is where this happens. We have
and you fuckers got me watching wrestling. It makes
so
me
good.
so mad.
I've
been watching it like a lot.
This good in 25 years. This is as good as wrestling. This is the new golden era of wrestling.
It's been the best since Attitude, so I've been paying attention.
The only question is whether or not they want to get the belt off Roman before that happens. That's the only question. They could get it off at WrestleMania, or they could beat Cody again and keep it and take that heat in with them. Up to them.
Not a good idea.
I don't think they need the belt.
I think
they don't need the belt.
I don't either. I think they should. I think Roman should lose the belt, and The Rock should blame Roman 100% for it. Like, you failed us.
Well, I'm wondering.
I
mean, from the get-go, I've been wondering if Rock somehow inadvertently costs Roman, and that kicks it off.
Possible.
Right.
I would think that Roman loses the belt, then The
Or
Rock's
like
you failed us.
Cody gets out of the way.
Get our belt back.
Cody gets out of the way. Roman spears Rock. Cody hits the Cody Cutter gets the win. Something like that. Nefarious means. But then, of course, the promo set. I mean, like, there's 1,000 different ways they can do it, but it's right out in front of us, and it's going to be incredible. It's going to be great.
Tara,
I'm here for it. I'm gonna watch it.
He loves that Chucky doll. That's like his second child.
It really is. I wish I could make him like inadvertently move and do stuff, like get like some wires or something. It'd be great.
I mean, if it was like talking or something like, Delvin's broke ass optimist, I'm sure it would work for you, or it doesn't work for him.
Pretty much. Much like most things in my life. Doesn't work for me. That's what it wants to do.
Yeah, that's right.
Like Cody losing the belt. Doesn't work for Delvin.
Nah,
But gonna happen.
at all. No about luck.
If you can smell what The Rock is cooking.
God, could you imagine if Cody gets the belt and then he faces off against The Rock?
I think that's going to end up happening.
So good, man.
I think he's going to face The Rock.
So good.
That'd be great.
I think he's going to win the belt and end up facing The Rock.
I'm here for it.
And then Roman costs Rock the belt.
Yeah, I
Just
think
pays
that's
it
a
back.
possibility.
And then we just
Rock
go
doesn't-
full blown
if-
civil war. Oos versus
Rock
Oos.
doesn't get
Roman
injured,
versus Rock.
that's
Like
no-
just
That is the
The
only
line
thing.
falling apart.
Long as
yeah. That was
as
my
The Rock doesn't get injured.
that's been my take from the get go
Hmm.
on this whole thing, Dev. From the get go, I was like, okay, this is where this goes. Roman comes in and Rock comes in and he's the catalyst that breaks the bloodline. This is the fall of the faction from here.
Looking at that
already
bloodline
spun-
tree,
they've
it's really
already
small on
spun-
Rock's side. There's like nobody there. It's all
They've already spun Jay out.
Usos.
Now they got to get ready to spin
There's something
Solo
there.
out.
The money is there. That's on the Rock side.
The money's on the Rock side. It was like there's like barely any of his members, and then all the Fatus and everybody else on the other side. I'm like, there's a lot of them and not a lot of y'all.
Yeah, it's like, the money's here. That's where we'll go.
You started talking
The
about
billions
wrestling,
of dollars.
Our viewer counts just died. Like they just
There
all
were
went
viewers.
down.
We had viewers. Look, the 7. They're still here.
That's true. I just saw it. I just like keep saying like the longer we talk about wrestling, the more leave.
And the funny thing about it is we talk about all sorts of nonsense and they all stay here for this. But once we said wrestling,
Once we say
it's
wrestling,
time to go.
we're like, well, it's time to go. Fuck these guys. We're done.
You play the Rock talking shit, and they're like, oh, we gotta go.
Yeah, we're out of here.
All right. Well, y'all ready for some questions?
Yeah,
No.
Too bad.
I'm asleep.
Starting out with TPR, he says, earlier this week, Dev wasn't impressed when he pointed out Wemby was in the company of Hakeem and General for his 10-block triple-double. Absolutely. Fuck Wemby.
Yeah, you're just a hater, and that's just Dev.
When
He
is
says-
Dev ever impressed with anything?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Buzz Killington, he's just a hater.
Dev
He's
is
hated on
impressed
Wemby
with
before
Dev.
Wemby was even drafted. He was like, "Fuck this kid."
100%.
Yeah.
This
he
poor
was.
kid. This
100%.
19-year-old kid.
You can kick rocks.
Kid weighs like 87
80
pounds.
pounds,
Dev
yeah.
just hates his guts.
Yeah. I hope he trips and
Just hates
falls
his
and,
gut.
twists his ankle.
That was an
He can kick
insane
rocks.
triple-double. It was nuts.
Sure.
It was. It was.
Sure.
He's really starting to catch fire
Looked
too. Like
amazing.
people are starting to see it. Like, oh, watch out.
Yeah.
I dig him.
Give it like 3 years. If he doesn't get hurt, his feet stay together and his legs stay together. Let him pack on a little muscle. Let him get accumulated, and then there's no stop. Physically, there's nothing to do with him. There's nobody that
Nope.
can touch him.
He is literally a created character, and so he
Yeah,
can kick rocks.
there's nothing you could do. It's Durant, but like O'Neal, but Garnett. It's like I don't know what you do with this. Like,
You don't do anything with it. And apparently, fucking
I know what
Jamal
you do with it.
Crawford
You
was
put a
teaching
big
him.
guy on him, and you just like don't let him catch the ball in the paint. Like just push him away. Like, just try to
Just
keep
beat him up.
as far away
Beat
as
him up.
possible.
We're
That
playing
is
bully
not
ball
hard.
today, sir.
Like 87 pounds, so it's easy to push him.
But the problem is he can just stroke threes too. So like that may not be. I just think that's the best strategy. I'd rather him beat you out there than beat you down in the paint. Like just move him
Yeah.
away.
Absolutely.
But you already see it on the other teams. Like people are just not driving it anymore. He's turning everybody into jump shooters.
Unless your name is Kyrie, and you're like,
Well,
But I
Kyrie's a
can.
different breed. Kyrie's a different breed. Kyrie
Kyrie
get
got a
blocked 19
nasty
times
one
in a
on him.
row and still do it again.
yeah, he got a nasty layup on Wemby. It was
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
just one though.
That's all I need.
See,
Fuck
it's
him.
not a highlight. It's not a highlight game. It's
It
an
was a
actual
highlight. It was a highlight.
game. Right, but the game isn't won based on a highlight.
They lost. San Antonio keeps losing, actually.
but
So
the
that's
Spurs are not any
that's
good.
the other thing. Until they
playing-
start winning, I really am not paying you any
Playing
attention.
a power forward at point guard, like they're not really equipped to win.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah, I'm-
thought they were going to win.
Yeah. So until you start winning,
Watch
I
it.
don't care.
They need a point guard. They've got to go get a point guard this summer.
So the question is actually, what is there more to prove in his first 40 games of your career? Wemby's improvement has been a vertical line up over these past 20 years, 20 games.
He's shown everything he needs to show you. And if I
He
were
needs
the
to play more
Spurs,
minutes.
if I were the Spurs, I'd shut him down. You suck anyway. You might as well shut him down, get the pick, and come back next year and do it again.
I don't think so. I think you still got to play him. Like, he has to get used to playing a full season. You shut him down now, his body isn't going to be able to take the abuse.
If a stress fracture and goes the way of Yao, you'd rethink that.
It might happen, but then the thing is, there's no saying that won't happen next year. My thing, like, listening, like Paul George was talking about this in his podcast, how you're seeing more and more injuries because
We're
players
listening to Paul George on how not to be injured.
not on how not to be injured. It has nothing to do with how not to be injured. He's saying what you're seeing around the league. You're seeing more injuries and stuff because players aren't playing as many games. So they end up getting all this rest and they play and they get hurt because they're not used to taking the abuse of playing more games. So I hate the whole rest thing. Like, play. Get your ass out there and play all 81 games.
I just don't believe that at all.
I do. I
There's really
1,000% believe it.
There's not a whole lot of facts to back that up. If anything, there's overwhelming data that shows the more minutes you play, the more prone to injury you are.
The more prone to injury you are, yeah, sure. But they weren't having as many injuries as they are
Especially
now.
a rookie who hasn't done it at this level that long, I would look to ramp it up and not just be like, I need you to give me 40 minutes over 82 games. Like, that's absurd.
Yeah, I wouldn't shut him down. Play the rest of the season.
He's the franchise. You got to protect him.
Play the full season. You got to play the full season because if you can't play a full season now, you're ever going to play a full season?
They're going to lose anyway. They suck. They're terrible.
I would say
He's
minimize his
experienced.
minutes a little bit more.
His minutes are already minimized.
That's fine.
They're already minimized. So
I just want
Minimize
to have
even
him,
more.
I just don't want him out there trying to kill himself for stats, for
Exactly.
meaningless rewards.
I
and
agree.
it's
stuff.
not
There's no need.
stats. It's the experience.
Okay. He's not going anywhere. It's not like the experience isn't going to come. It's going to come.
The experience of playing with
I'd
pros.
like to play him with a point guard. Like I'd like to play him with a real point guard. He's also got to think about like what he's out there with. He's out there with 3 wings and a power forward playing point guard. He's basically just playing hero ball. You could make the argument that he might be developing bad habits.
Nah, not with Pop. Play him. Let him just continue to get the experience and play a full
Power
season.
forward and point guard.
It's fine.
It's not.
There's no positions in basketball anyway anymore. It's all positionless, right? Everybody can play whatever. Wemby's the point guard.
Nobody's doing
Wemby's
that.
the point guard. Yeah,
That's
everybody's
just
doing that.
Just the Dubs.
It's everybody. It's everybody. Giannis is a point guard now too. They're all just positionless basketball.
So Dame's the point guard.
Is he? He's a 2 guard. He's a 2 guard.
Next question.
Fuck Wemby.
I cannot wait for him to get a point guard and just trounce the Lakers hard for
That'd be fine. It wouldn't bother me in the least.
years.
It wouldn't bother me at all.
Over again. Just
I would
send him
sleep.
home every year.
I would sleep so well.
So
The
good.
only team getting beat that actually ever bothers me is the fucking 49ers. When they lose, I'm hurt.
Well,
The
I'm
Lakers
sorry.
can lose for the rest of all eternity and it wouldn't bother me at all.
Well,
No, I was very pissed.
watch
I'm fucking furious over that shit.
I was in bed. I was so out, so tired.
It was great, fantastic.
Fuck you.
Watched the halftime show. Either.
I watched the Knicks stream of it having a blast and listening to Patrick Starr make fun of the 49ers.
I forget.
You would watch that shit on Nickelodeon.
Becca sent me that, and I was like, "What is this a thing?" And I was like,
Apparently.
"There's no way this is a thing." I didn't know. Here's legit. I didn't know Nickelodeon was still a channel. I thought that thing had gone defunct a long time
Oh
ago.
yeah,
Nickelodeon's still a thing.
Nickelodeon, Nick Jr.? Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is
Yeah.
still really
news to me.
popular.
I thought it was like MTV and stuff. All those channels have just disappeared.
Those channels still
Nickelodeon.
exist too.
I'm telling you, I didn't know. That's all I'm telling you is I didn't know this. I haven't had cable in 20 years. I don't know.
I haven't had cable either, but I still know those channels exist. In fact, you can watch them on Paramount Plus.
You guys hear my loud ass house?
Yeah, you can.
Panther?
No.
Okay, good. Because he's throwing a fit.
When that
Anyway.
fumble happened,
Fuck
Patrick was
you.
like, firmly grasped it. Crying laughing.
Somebody mute him. Kick him off. Shut him up.
It was fantastic.
I cannot believe you were watching it on
Where it was
Nickelodeon.
like somebody needs to give the teams a map so they can find the end zone. I was like, oh shit. They got Dora out
It
here
was so
clowning
good.
folks. Like, this is wild.
Yeah,
It was so good.
The few clips I saw, it was ridiculous.
That sounds amazing.
It was
This is
so
a great
good.
idea. So
It was funny. It was great.
yeah, she sent me some TikToks about it because I didn't see any of it, and it sounds incredible.
How come Sandy couldn't just
Disney
take her
was
helmet
terrible.
off? There was a Disney one
What, to
too.
die?
D-Life asked, did we
Yeah,
see
there was
the
the-
What do you
lead
mean
cast
die?
on
She was on
Florida?
Earth. Why would she need to wear the helmet still? She wasn't underwater.
Probably die.
I did
Oh
see
my
the
God.
coupon code for the League Pass, and I just decided not to get it because when I had League Pass last year for free for buying 2K, I barely watched it. I think we watched like 3 games. I've just gotten to the point where it's probably just time. I don't have the time. I follow basketball like on YouTube. Like my YouTube channel, the NBA's YouTube channel is great. They've got full game highlights, and they usually post like most of the fourth quarter of like every game. And it's like I just catch it then, and I follow like
That's what I do too.
clips on Twitter or Reddit. Like I don't have time to sit down and watch 82 games anymore. So like
Yes,
I was
it's a
like
lot.
I could
It's a
sign
lot.
up for this and do this and all, but like, am I going to sit down and actually watch? No, I'm not going to do that.
It's too much content out there.
It's just
Way
it's
too much.
Too
I'm trying to
long,
like
you
it.
know. Like if I'm going to watch a game,
Too
it's
long.
probably like I'm going to go to it and sit down and watch it. Otherwise, I got games to play and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not getting no League Pass. I'm not watching that many games. It ain't that serious. Even if it is free, it'll never get turned on in my house.
That's it. Like I had it from the get go. I had the whole season. We watched opening day. I think I watched like a Christmas game, and I watched like 2 more games. And at the end of the year, Jack was like, "We didn't watch really any. We watched like 6 games." It's like you were 100% right. We had this thing the whole year. I bought the Super Edition and everything, and we barely used it.
That's what they bank on. They bank on you
Of
buying
course.
it and never using it.
That's why I was like, I'm not gonna do that. And I've gotten used to like the YouTube replays, the recap. You get no commercials. It's fast. It's condensed. Like this is perfect. This is great. I don't have to watch 80 free throw shots a game. You know, every commercial break. You're like, this is much better.
Yeah, there's a couple of
They gotta
YouTube channels
fix their
that
free throw
condense the
problem.
game.
It's just like ruining
lot.
watching the game. There's so many free throws. Everybody's getting fouled all the time, all game long. It's way too many.
Yeah, I miss the 80s when you could punch somebody and there's no foul called. Now everybody
I'm
you
not
breathe
worried
on
about,
somebody's
the
a
play.
foul.
It's just like too many offensive players just create contact
Mhm.
for the fouls. They got to get rid of that.
They
If
were
you
supposed
are
to be getting rid
initiating
of some of that.
contact, stop it. You don't get the free throws.
Yeah, that's the thing now. Like if you purposely back into people, things of that nature, they don't call
It's not
call
working, 'cause
fouls.
I watched the game the other day, and I swear I watched somebody take 23. I was like, this is too much. It just slows the whole moment. I want the game to run back and forth, move, go, play fast.
You know what you
Play
can blame for that?
Yeah,
Advanced
play basketball.
analytics.
That's true. That's true.
That's what you can blame on it. I hate it. I hate it so much. Which is probably why I don't watch as much basketball anymore. Anyways, B-Muck says, so how would you feel about this next gen Leap piece of hardware being, say, $800 to $900, but as close to a gaming PC as they can get in terms of specs? Offer a true premium experience, and then the cheaper options being the S/X depending on your budget. I know there will be the counter, just buy a PC, but there is obviously a crowd who won't want to buy a PC or want to move away from the PC life for a console. Just trying to gauge where next-gen console fits in a world where it's diminishing returns at this point. Kind of
I'd feel
spoke to
terrible if
this.
that happened.
If margins
it's
are
gonna get there.
shrinking and they continue to shrink, or consoles can't make more money, then yeah, the way that you make more money is you make money off the hardware. That's what Nintendo does. Doesn't have to be $800-900, but at this point, if they're going to try to make the most powerful console leap, like that's what you got to do. Like that's the only thing that's going to get you there.
Well,
And I don't know.
when that happens, I'll just tell Dev to make me a computer.
Here's the thing: if your console base, if you're okay,
Yeah.
so like the Jeff Grubb thing is, there are only so many console customers in the world. Let's put the cap at say 300 million, but it's probably more like 200. That's essentially like what he's been kind of going around with the last week. There's only so many console players, so like these 3 console companies can only cut that pie up so many different ways but you're essentially cutting up the same pie every time. So if Xbox is like relegated to saying like we're third place, we're just going to be in third place because we've like these people, they already got their games there. We don't have Final Fantasy, like we're just going to be in third place. Well, then, yeah, I think the idea to raise the price of the console, make a better console, if you think that your third place amount of console players are open to buying that, I don't think it's a terrible idea. Like if you're only going to sell 30 million of them, but you think those 30 million people will give you $700 because they like Xbox, do it.
Yeah.
If you think they will, I don't know if they will, but if you think they will, if Xbox is to the point where the only people buying Xboxes are core Xbox folks, lean into it.
1000%.
Yeah.
Delvin, what's the cap on you buying? What's the cap for you buying a console to not have to deal with the PC?
I think that's the gap. I think because I'm looking at it realistically now. I average spending $1,000 for a console anyway. Because if I buy the Xbox and the PlayStation, it's roughly $1,000.
You're buying you're thinking of I buy both.
Mm-hmm.
So if they make each console $900, then I'd probably have to just go to PC. Like,
Sure.
I might as well just buy a PC because it get the best.
I mean, that's what I would do. Obviously, I think Dev and I are already there. So, in my head,
just know that PC is going to cost you like $1,700,
$2,000,
$2,000. Like just to be real.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we can find a middle ground somewhere. Maybe not.
We can. Sure. It won't be the console experience. It'll be lesser than the console experience, but you got to also factor the PC does more.
Spec for a certain amount of years, they buy enough hardware, they make enough hardware to negotiate lower prices on those.
Mm-hmm.
So you get more bang for the buck. That's the whole console business. That's why we're not all on PCs. Like the whole console business is if I build 20 million of these, how about you cut the graphics card in half and the chip in half, and we'll both make money off of volume. The question is, what happens if you're not moving volume like you used to? Then what?
Mm-hmm.
Then you raise the price. Or you change the game, right? And that's where like the handheld and stuff comes from. See, I'm in the opposite boat. When I saw this question come in from BMOX, if I've always wanted an Xbox branded PC. Like I would love Alien, like what Alienware is, I would love an Xbox version of Alienware. It's just a badge. They just badge up a PC and they call it Xbox. Put some green lights in it and stuff, but it's Xbox. I would buy one of those. So I'm thinking about this. If they go to the path of doing $800-900 console, it better be able to run other storefronts. Can it run Steam? Because if it's just locked like a console walled garden, why would anybody do that? Like in my head, I'm like, just get a PC and do both. Like,
yeah,
I think it'll be just locked.
Well, then I again, that's going back to what I said earlier. I don't know if I'm still in this console game.
That wouldn't make any sense to just lock it. That's no.
Yeah, because it's like, is it a PC or is it a console? If it's
a PC. It just happens to have an Xbox sticker on it. It's still running Windows.
I'm like, if they're gonna make it that expensive, it's got to just run Windows and be a PC.
Yeah, it's gonna have an Xbox logo, some green lights. It's gonna run Windows. It's gonna be all your colors are gonna be green. It'll be an Xbox Game Pass background or something like that.
Like, why would you buy an Xbox if you get Gears of Halo, PlayStation 5? Why would you buy a $900 Xbox if it doesn't have Steam and Ubisoft and the EA launcher and all the other things you can do in the Epic Store?
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's just a weird niche. Will somebody buy it? Sure, somebody will buy it. Like, I'm positive somebody would buy it. I think the number is like 700. That's like, I think the tippy top. If they could come in at a box 700, that really gives you like a good bang for your buck against a mid-grade PC at a fraction of the price, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that being pretty stellar. But 900's too much. If you're 900 territory, that damn thing better be able to do what Windows can. Otherwise, you're just leaving a lot of functionality on the table.
1000%.
Yeah.
Kyle the Pug says,
"Fuck you, Kyle the Pug."
Oh, I love this idea. Hang on, D-Life. Would be cool if Microsoft just unlocked all the Xboxes to run Windows. That'd be dope.
That's actually
I'd pay a developer fee if I could just let me put Windows on my Xbox Series X. I'll probably use it a lot more.
I wonder how well it would run.
Probably not, because they'd have to have drivers and all that. They'd have to ship an OS with driver support and stuff to it. Which
Yeah.
they could do it, but they would have to. You'd have to like install Windows 11 on it.
Mm-hmm.
But they could unlock it and let us do it. It's
Yeah,
probably against some sort of agreement or whatever.
probably.
Yeah, I don't
But you
think
could
it
do
would
it.
actually happen, but they could do it.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody has. I'm sure somebody's hacked it and got Windows on there.
I wonder if it even would. Like, I wonder if it even
Hey,
has
Capri.
like the required hardware to really do that. You know, it's like we think it's got the basics: network card, GPU, CPU. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but like, you know, it's not that apropos. It's not that 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Is it like a motherboard or whatever? It's not the proprietary for Xbox.
It's gotta be.
It's got to be. That's what I'm thinking. Because I don't think I've ever seen a video of anybody running Windows on an Xbox.
Me either.
Yeah, I don't think that would work that way.
Hackers make it happen. Find a way. Modders, find a way. So yeah, Kyle the Puck says, God of War series, Batman Arkham series, Uncharted series, Halo series. You can only have one to play for the rest of your life, and the others that you don't choose are erased from existence. What series do you choose?
Tough question.
I know which one I'm not picking.
Delvin's going to
Won't be
Suicide
Halo.
Squad, baby.
Won't be Halo.
Yeah,
Not
Halo
picking that
Halo's dead.
Yeah, I'm
Halo's
picking
gone.
Uncharted.
I'm picking Arkham.
I thought Delvin would pick Arkham.
You know what?
To me, it came down to Arkham and Batman.
Same.
I mean, sorry, it came down to Uncharted and Batman.
I think my choice is going to
But,
surprise you.
I'm going with Uncharted.
I think I'm going to go God of War.
Interesting.
And
There's a lot of those games.
Why? Because
There are a lot of them, and they're really good.
that's
All of
why.
them.
That's one of the reasons. And the games are different
Mhm.
because you have the first trilogy,
Yep.
and then you have the newer versions. That's kind of very different games. Whereas Uncharted, I love Uncharted, but they're
It's all
kind
the
of the same game.
Sure.
And the same thing with the Arkham games. Like the Arkham games, they're kind of the same game. At least with God of War, you have a little bit of variety.
The thing that got me on the
Same
Arkham
reason why I didn't
games
pick
is
Halo.
There's like Origins, there's Suicide Squad, but you have like the mainstays. You've got
Suicide Squad doesn't count, does it?
in the Arkhamverse. It
Yes,
counts.
it does.
It does.
It counts.
See, when I said Arkham games, I'm thinking
direct
it had to have
sequel to
Arkham
Arkham
in the
Knight.
title.
And it's got Night. So when I'm looking at Batman, I'm like, I'm only going to play like 2 of those games.
Yeah, I'm only playing Arkham Asylum. I don't really care about the rest of them.
And
Aren't
I
you gonna
thought
play
God of
those two
War-
games for the rest of your days?
I loved the
Yeah.
original trilogy, but I can't act like I Uncharted, man. I can't act like it holds a special place for me. I've got the console and the statue and all that. I love the story and the characters. I couldn't erase it from existence.
I
That's
could.
the hard part. I can't erase it from existence.
It already exists in Indiana Jones.
No, I can't do it. Can't do it.
Yeah, Uncharted can kick rocks. I'm
Sorry,
playing Arkham
Chloe,
because it's a
Get rid of
Metroidvania.
her forever.
Yeah,
No,
bye.
Can't do it. It's too
I'm not tied to any
Do we
of it.
still?
To be perfectly honest, they can all go. I mean, I
not
don't
a
see why
question,
not.
but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not part of
If
this.
you wanted to make the butterfly effect with no Uncharted, is there like I get where you're going?
See,
right?
that's what I
Yeah,
want.
I get what you're saying, but that's
That's not
it's not part of the question. Yeah,
Okay, so if I get the Last of Us, then I'm
It would
still
have been
good.
funny if he swapped out Halo for The Last of Us and you asked this question, and then what?
Ooh.
that's still easy for me.
Yeah, you're still going back.
Still going Arkham. I'm still going Arkham. And I'm really only playing Arkham Asylum. I never finished City. I never played Night.
You gonna play one game?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Love it.
It ain't that serious. It ain't that serious. I'll be all right.
And they're all great individually, and yeah, I'm good with that.
What the fuck? WFOD, whatever. In 2000, what? What is WFOD? Anybody?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I know what it is.
What is it?
It's a podcast.
Okay, there you go.
You want me to say it? Wheelbarrow full of dicks.
There we go.
Wow, we shouldn't have even asked.
They said in 2003, Ryan Stidfol stole my copy of Excitebike and moved to California.
Legend,
In your
That
opinion,
piece of shit.
legend.
should he burn in hell for eternity? First of all, are we talking about
Yes.
like the original NES Excitebike? Or are we talking about like Excite Bike 64?
I
The
mean,
Excite Bike 64, he can keep that shit.
I like Excite Bike 64.
I'm just like in
it's not the
2003. Like, which one are we talking about?
That's what I was thinking 64 because of the year. I was thinking 64.
If he
Right.
said 64, I'd be like, he did you a favor.
Oh, damn. You too? Yeah,
Fuck
too,
the
BJ?
64. Yes,
I like the
God, I
Excite
hated
Bike
that
64.
console. I like the original Excite Bike.
You even play
Original
it?
Excite Bike's the joint.
Yes.
I like Excite Bike 64.
We
I
need
like Excite
clarification on this question. Which Excite
No,
Bike
we
it
don't.
is?
We don't. It's a legend. I love him. A man just copped your game and then bounced. It'd be hilarious.
I mean,
you're lucky that it was
left-
2003.
left
We didn't
the
have
state.
phones yet. Because if it was 2023, he would have sent you a picture of that bitch on the beach. But burn in hell
I
for
agree.
all
He
of
should
eternity.
burn in hell.
Man, that's a little
Yes.
harsh. It's a little
He should
harsh.
burn in
No,
hell.
I'm gonna like it. That's a little
He
harsh.
should burn in hell.
You're coming in hot.
Let him burn in hell.
You're coming.
No,
in
I
hot.
mean, look, you told my game and move
Eternity.
across the
Burn
country.
in
Yeah,
eternity.
you're absolutely.
No,
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
could, like,
Burn in hell.
he could like send you a PayPal card or buy you one off eBay. You have to
Nah.
burn in hell for eternity.
Nah, this
There
it's
are
the
other
principle.
ways of making this.
It's the
correct.
principle.
Exactly.
It's the principle. What do you mean, you people?
Burn in hell.
Forgiveness.
For
Right?
eternity.
Nah,
Turn the
he's
other
burning.
cheek.
Nah, fuck that.
Nah. It's the principle.
He-
Yeah, you're going to hell. You're going to burn forever. Exactly.
All right.
Wow.
Nah.
I tried to help you, Ryan. I love that you got the copy though.
I'm looking up how much the Excite Bike costs.
Maybe the dude on the podcast, should take better care of his games. How did he just like get the game like that?
He let him borrow it, and then he pieced out.
You should let. I don't let people borrow my games.
I don't either.
You can buy
For
your own
reasons
game.
just
You can
like
buy a
that.
copy-
You get your own game.
You can buy a copy of Excite Bike for $10 on eBay.
You're making this man burn in hell for all of eternity over $10.
Again,
service charge.
it's
Goddamn
the
right.
principle. Absolutely.
Absurd.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
Burn in hell.
I mean, do you expect anything other than
Yeah, I
absurdity?
did it. Not do it again.
Exactly. And I hope they burn in hell.
Jeez.
Yeah.
John 32 says, "What is your favorite wrestling finish move of all time?"
Ooh.
They ruined mine.
They ruined yours?
Yeah, they completely ruined mine. Mine's the answer is the Canadian Destroyer, only
Oh,
if it's
God.
done by Petey Williams.
That's done. Yeah,
The who?
The Canadian Destroyer.
that's too
What
much.
the hell is that?
It's the dumb move where you get the people in the pile driver, you do a flip, and then they land the pile driver. It's
But they've ruined it. Now everybody does it.
well, it's
But so
I'm not
it's
gonna
only
lie to you.
the
I think it's
one-
a dumb move to begin with.
I think it's
really
cool when
do.
Petey Williams does it.
No,
when Petey
but
Williams
it's-
used to do it, it was cool.
But it's like
That
a fake.
sounds dumb.
It's like you get put in the move and then you reverse it into a. That's dumb. That's not realistic.
It looks cool. It looked
It
cool
looks
when
cool,
Petey
but
Williams.
it's not realistic.
But the answer is the RKO.
Well, the RKO is the diamond cutter.
I was about to say, isn't it just a diamond cutter?
It is the diamond cutter. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But-
a ripped
but
off
yeah, Randy
move.
Orton's-
It's a diamond cutter.
Yeah, he, as the great Jay-Z said, you made it a hot line, I made it a hot song. So yeah, Randy Orton took it and made it like the move.
Is it? Because I still notice the diamond cutter. Like,
No, Randy
you're old,
definitely
Dad.
made it his own thing. It's definitely, and it's not
It's,
so much the
it's
move.
like memes now.
It's Randy.
Charging now is one.
It's just Randy. It's not the move. It's Randy. I don't know what my favorite finisher is. The diamond cutter comes to mind, but like, we can do better than that.
I'm going with the fame asser.
That's kind of a lame move.
It's because the name, and it's just silly.
No, that's true. I
absurd.
get you there, but it's kind of a ooh.
That's just a leg drop.
It is a leg drop. It's a backwards leg drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I've got a couple in mind. The pedigree is iconic. Great move. I also love the F5. It's a
F5.
really dope looking move.
I don't
It's
know what
super
that
fun.
is.
It's Lesnar.
Oh,
Puts you on the shoulder, and then he twirl in the air, and you almost like spin in midair and land on your face. But I think my favorite finisher is the Texas Cloverleaf.
That's a good one.
that was what Ken Shamrock's thing.
Malenko.
No, Malenko? Okay, yeah.
Shamrock was
Malenko.
ankle lock.
The man of 1,000 holes.
Yeah, the man of 1,000 holds. But the cloverleaf is like a sharpshooter without passing the leg through. But if you've ever done one and you put somebody's pressure of their leg against the other person's leg, like over the cloverleaf hurts like a motherfucker. Cloverleaf's for real.
Yeah.
Like it really hurts. It's basically like a Kimura around a leg. And
You guys are saying all kind of words, and I have no idea what any of them mean.
oh come on, man.
That's
A
fine.
Kimura? What?
I mean, I like the tombstone. It's very
Tombstone is cool.
It's very cool.
I like the Stone Cold Stunner. You know, I need absurd moves. I need the absurdity.
Flying
you know?
headbutt.
Here you go, Dev. People's
Flying
elbow.
headbutt. You don't like the flying
Most
headbutt?
ridiculous move in wrestling.
People's elbow is stupid. It's just as dumb as Hogan's leg drop.
Hogan's leg drop
no.
is
It
pretty
is.
dope, though. Yeah. Dude, have you ever seen
What's
his leg?
dope about it?
His leg's fucking massive.
Right.
Because
But
if an actual
right
leg
across your damn
drops
face.
on your neck, you're probably dead.
Yeah.
Like,
No, see,
But it's
I
just-
like old school wrestling. I like when
I'll take
when
Macho
the
Man's
sleeper
elbow
hold
drop over that.
used to be a finisher. I like when the DDT used to be a finisher, when the clothesline was a finisher. And back then the leg drop was massive.
yeah, somebody dropping their leg on your neck.
Like, yeah,
you're
if I
probably like,
really leg drop you, this shit would hurt like a
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Again,
Damn,
It's
that's gonna
just
end up-
kind of lame. Okay?
I don't think
It's
so. I
just-
like the
there's
leg.
no
I like the leg.
there's no flash.
That's okay.
No.
Again, I like the DDT used to be a finisher. A clothesline
it's great
used to be a finisher. That was a finishing move. Now there's like 9 clotheslines in every match.
Yeah.
Piper, the sleeper hold, man. Great
Sleeper hold.
finish.
Sleeper hold. The sleeper
Nobody
hold I can
finishes
respect.
anybody with a sleeper anymore. It's so
I have a
lame.
great sleeper hold actually. Pretty
Nice.
good at that one.
Yeah.
That's the one move I know really well.
I like Cody's move. It's kind of like
Crossroads
Sister
good.
Abigail. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like similar.
The who?
Very similar.
Sister Abigail. It's Bray
Yeah,
Wyatt's
That's
move.
Bray Wyatt's move.
You should look that
Alright.
up.
We're gonna just
pretty
move
cool.
There's a
on
lot
from
of people
this.
that use that move, but like Bray did that move well.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stunner was great because the stunner would pop out of anywhere. It was
Yeah,
quick.
Stunner was great.
It was great
Like
that
the
they called
diamond
him the
cutter.
rattlesnake because it was boom and you're down. You know, it was really nice.
Apparently, the Stunner's not good on your back.
It's
That was
yeah,
Stone
because
Cold
your
doesn't
butt,
do it.
you're landing on your spine. Just tails.
Well, well, it's not good on white people because they have no ass. They're just landing on
Wow.
their spine. That's what that
Ooh,
is.
trouble in
Diminished glute syndrome.
Oh, that's a good move.
paradise. Yeah, dude, Kofi's move.
That's
is
a really
dope.
good move.
Every
It's
time I
dope.
see it, I'm like, I'm always like, how do you spin? Like, just like, it's like, it's really good. It looks like it's poetry in motion. It's very nice.
It does. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Nathan says, are there any games that you liked, but as time went on, began to dislike? Conversely, is there a game where you didn't like it at first, but you went back to it and it clicked?
I don't know if this works.
got-
When I originally beat Rage 2, I thought it was kind of like an okay game. And as time went on,
I think we talked
and I
about that
played
on
other
here.
games, like I've grown more fond of that game. I'm like, that game was a lot better than I thought it was. And I feel the same way about Resident Evil 7. When I beat Resident Evil 7, I was like, this is a good game. And then having played multiple other Resident Evil since, I'm like, no, that was a great game. Like that was a really good game. And I just,
Yeah.
at the time, I think at the time I was like, this isn't Resident Evil 4. Like I was just holding it up to like a maybe too high of a standard. And then I played Resident Evil Village, and I was like, oh, 7 was way better than this, though.
Yeah. I remember that conversation too.
Yeah, I think that was
Because I
it.
like Village, and you were like, Village is not great. I'm like, oh,
I
it's
didn't
good.
like Village at all.
It's good. You were like, I just don't like 7. Then like, that's the problem. You like 7 too much.
Yeah, 7 compared to Village, 7's
7 is
amazing.
really good.
Yeah, I think 7's my second favorite.
A game that I liked and I don't like now.
That's harder. It's harder to come up with.
Not
That's
necessarily
really
like
hard
but didn't like
because-
now, but you started out
less.
playing it and you liked it, and as you progressed through it, you were just like, I'm out.
I don't know about dislike, but like Tears of the Kingdom is kind of like that. when I was into it, the first 20 hours, I was super high on Tears of the Kingdom. The longer I played it, not that I got bad on it, it just the luster started to tarnish a little bit. And I was like, this is a great game, but I don't like love the game.
Well, recently Suicide Squad's that for me. I played it like, oh, this is fine. And then the more I played, like, this is fucking terrible. Like, I went from like thinking this is fine to this is terrible.
Really, I was like, this is a great game, but I don't love it. And you were like, I like this game. This game is complete garbage.
Yeah,
You really
like,
went on the scale, huh?
Yeah, it went like, this is fine. I can get through it. And as I further got it, like, this is fucking terrible. I don't want to play this game ever again.
Wow.
I haven't played it ever again. I just stopped. I stopped. I legit
Sounds like
stopped. I
Arkham
don't wanna
Knights.
play this anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah. I just can't get into it.
I didn't mind Arkham Knight too much. People really hate
Not
it.
Arkham Knight, the Arkham Knights,
Oh,
Gotham
Gotham
Knights.
Knights.
Gotham Knights.
Oh,
Gotham
yeah, I
Knights.
forgot all about that game. Does that count in the Arkhamverse too? Is that in the collection?
I have no idea.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It does not count apparently.
Well, it's probably a bonus then.
You know what? Gotham Knight. No. I guess Batman Origins kind of falls into it. Because when I originally played it, I thought it was good. And now I play it again like, oh yeah, this is really good. Like,
I'm not
really
going to do Rob
Gotham
3000 again,
Origins.
so I'm not going to say the game that just came to mind. I'm just going to give Rob 3000 a pass this episode.
Alan Wake,
We've buried this game enough. We're not going to do it again.
I'll bury it some more. I'll dig it up and bury it again. Trash ass game. Sleep Simulator.
Not going to do it to him.
I can't think of anything that I played that I was enjoying, and just as it went on, I just started not liking it. But conversely, Cyberpunk, I did not like that game when I first started.
I remember that.
Ugh. But now,
the
like,
only one who liked it.
Didn't like first person. Yeah, the whole
I
thing.
didn't like any of it. But once they made all those changes, and oh my god, I that is like one game that I wish I could forget and play all over again. Like, I don't want to replay it because my playthrough was what it was, but I wish I could forget it and play it again. Like, I absolutely adore that game.
Nice.
All
Scrolling
right.
through my Steam library, see if anything else pops to mind. I don't necessarily think it changed, but I'm really fond of Kenna. I think that's a really great game.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite experiences on PlayStation 5. And like the
great.
longer it's gone on, like I wish we had more Kennas. It's like I wish there were more games like that.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a really good
shorter
one.
experience with high fidelity visuals. You know,
Good combat, good gameplay,
it was just a really good game.
good story. It's cute. It's a good game. All right, here. Let's get deep. Smoking Joe wants to know, how do you guys balance gaming and being a father?
Do you guys actively think of this?
Yes, I do.
Yes, and I fail at it every week.
Wow.
I
don't think
I
I've
balance
ever
it by
actually,
not
like,
playing video games.
Thought about
Same.
like needing to do this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I balance it. I balance by,
I don't set time aside or make plans for this. I don't. Maybe I'm not answering the question right. Gaming doesn't equate into me trying to balance being a father. I think is maybe the better way of putting it. I play games,
Okay.
but if I need to be a father, games don't matter at all. Like that is a relevant thing if I am needing to be a father at that point in time. Yeah. So I don't know how that works. I'm not even saying I think I'm a good father, but I'm not trying to say I'm great at it or anything like that. I definitely don't think that. But like games don't equate into the into the picture at all. Job. How do I equate? Like, how do I balance my job and being a good father might be something, but like not games.
I think due to my situation, I'm constantly having to be a good father and listen to conversations and stuff, and so I have to do all that stuff first before I get the game. And a lot of times, by the time I do all the fatherly stuff, it's either time to podcast or sleep. So I don't really have time to game. Unless I like the rare occasion where, like, probably tomorrow I'll probably play some games because I don't have one of the few times when I don't have anything to do tomorrow. So I'll probably get up early. Well, not now because it's 1 o'clock now. So I'll probably get up eventually and play some games before the day starts. But yeah.
My kids are also not that young anymore. They're teenagers. They're almost out of here at this point. I don't have to be as involved in making their meals and being with them and doing there's not a lot of like all day long taking care of them. Like Jack's sick today, so we took him to the doctor and got him squared away and making him check in on him, bring him food and stuff like that, be a parent. But like that's uncommon. Most days he's in his room playing games outside, playing with his friends, like he's doing his thing. He's ready to bark in his own life, just like my daughter.
My kids are 16 and 18. Now they just ask more questions about everything now. Now it's more of a conversation about things. Advice, questions about life, things.
Shit.
Plus, just
My
like
daughter doesn't want to talk to me about any of that. I'm not allowed to have any opinion on any of that at all. She's got it all figured out.
And then you get to the whole thing that I have to cook for them and make sure they eat healthy and stuff like that.
Sure.
Do that stuff. So it comes more involved into it.
Yeah, mine are 4 and 12. I'm saying 4, 8 and 12.
More involved.
And yeah, I don't play video games. That's basically what it boils down to, because there's just so many things that we're doing that I'm involved in, and I'd rather do that anyway. So I'm just gonna do dad and then do husband, and then if I have time to play games and I'm not exhausted,
Right, but like it's not in the
I'll play games.
picture of you. You're not like weighing the balance of that. Like they're just irrelevant, right?
No, I don't think about weighing in the balance, but it's still a balance. It's like, how do I balance? Because video games is just like my me time. How do I balance finding time for myself versus being a husband and a father?
Like
and
Kevin
at this
used to
point,
wake
it's
up
kind of
early.
like I can't do
Kevin
that.
used to wake up at like 5 a.m. so we could play before everybody else got up.
So even if I woke up at 5 a.m, like that gives me maybe an hour. That's not gonna cut it for me. That's just gonna piss me off.
Yeah,
So
you
I'd
need a
rather
handheld.
not do that. No, even with the handheld, like I don't want to sit just for an hour. Like that's just not gonna be enough for me. Like I need like time. Like I need a couple of hours to really kind of just decompress and get away. Especially if I got to then get up and get ready to go to work. That's not gonna work.
5 kids from age 2 to 10 and 2 with special needs. It's a
Wow,
lot, man.
Joe.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot. You're amazing.
Yeah.
Legit. You're just smoking Joe back. Good job.
Nice.
Yeah, for real.
For real.
But yeah, man, it's just it's a balancing act of just trying to find time to actually do the things that you want to do versus being there and providing for the kids or whatever they need, and then also trying to make sure you're spending time with your wife. So it's not like you never spend time with me. You're down here playing video games. Like there's just a lot of that. So
I will say this. Make sure you carve out some time for yourself, just mentally, because you're gonna need it. You're gonna need
a lot of that is this. That's this Wednesday.
True. Well, I was just about to say, like, I guess I'm lucky in the regards that, like, my family was unfazed when I started doing this, and they all realized that I have these times set aside during the week, and they do a really good job of supporting, making sure I got to do it. Like if something happens, of course I wouldn't do it, but for the most part, my wife takes care of it. My kids don't even care. They're like, yeah, dad podcast Wednesday night and Sunday mornings. It's really not like, that's what I mean. Like, it's really not a thing that I actively think about. And I game, like if I've got free time, I'm gaming, but my kids know that they can come here if something happens. Like, I'm here. So that's the other thing, though. I don't leave like a lot. Like, I'm not out doing things. I don't go out to do dinners. I don't go vacations. Like, I'm here. Like, I'm just kind of, everybody knows where dad is all the time. Dad's in the basement, like at his computer or at the TV, or around the house and doing chores or whatever. I'm not gone.
Yeah,
I do other things. I don't golf.
I don't go nowhere.
Basketball. Yeah, I'm always around.
Same. I'm either here doing chores or possibly at church working the soundboard.
Or
Like,
I mean, at
that's
this point,
it.
just running kids around. Take Jack to basketball practice. Take Victoria to band practice. Take her to theater camp and all that stuff. I'm the driver. I'm the chauffeur.
You're the driver and you're the wallet.
That's it. I'm here for transportation and financial support.
Yeah. Fun times.
Tara says that's the other part too, having a support system. I mean, I've said it 1,000 times. I couldn't do it without Melissa.
Yeah.
I mean, just over the years, I mean, we really gelled into, we really gelled into like a sweet space the last few years, and just like kind of like a reckoning of where we are, where we want to go, and all that. Like I just feel like more so than ever, like we're on the exact same page.
That's awesome.
That's it's a real sweet feeling. I was just telling people at work the other day, I have an employee who just went through a divorce, and he lost his house, and he's feeling all the feelings that he should be feeling right now.
Yeah.
And they were talking about over lunch, and he was like, if you had it all to do over again, would you get married again? And I was like, absolutely. And like everybody was like, whoa, really? I was like, 100. I don't know how I do it without her. I really don't. Like I've learned like all the work stuff that I've been going through that you guys know, like she's been right there, like talking. I would have been very destructive without her. And you guys have seen that side of me. Like I get very reactive. She calms all that down, she's super mom and all of that. She keeps us on schedule and all that. Like couldn't do without her 100%.
That's awesome. Yeah. My wife is really good at all of that stuff too, and keeping me from going off the deep end, especially with these damn kids, because I be going. So, yeah, my better half, as they say.
We weren't supposed to do Valentine's presents this year. She was like, we'll just get something small and we'll do dinner and everything. And I got her a bunch of presents. And she was like, why did you do that? I was like, you deserve presents. Like I don't need presents. I'm totally fine. But you deserve presents. Like you need to be showed appreciation. So.
Yeah. That's my wife now. She's got the kids and she's like, I need to do some work. Can you come get these kids? Put them in their beds. Because usually when we podcast,
I miss that time.
She's putting the kids to bed. But the way I do it, I take them each into their rooms individually and put them in bed. She's like, I'm not doing that because my daughter also has a loft bed. So she's like, I'm not climbing up there. So they're both in the bed with her. And she's like, I need you to come pick this boy up and put him in his bed. So
I miss when the kids were young like that a lot. Very nostalgic for that. It's a sweet time.
Yeah, my son is a cuddler. Most nights.
Sweet time, man. Like I can't
he ends up
tell you
in my
how much
bed.
I miss it now.
I love it.
Daughter went through something the other day. She was crying. I tried to give her a hug. She said, I don't want a hug. Don't hug me. I'm in the mood. It's like, man, I just would give anything to pick 4-year-old you up again and just get that squeeze, like you just miss it.
Yeah, my daughter, I refuse to ever let her not.
My wife
be hugged.
disagrees. My
Really?
wife is like, no, the tantrums, and I think I'll take those tantrums every day of the week. That is small qualms to have like that experience. They're just so much fun.
Yeah, both my kids are very affectionate and cuddlers, and I'm a cuddler. So like,
You let them sleep in the bed, or is that no?
Hudson, dude, I don't let it happen. But
like kids can't sleep in the bed.
My wife doesn't want Hudson in the bed, but I wake up a lot of nights, and he's found a way to climb up in it. And we have a king size bed, so he's sleeping down to where I don't even notice he's there until I roll over. I'm like, where did you come from, bro?
I had to fight the wife, the mother-in-law, and the grandma when that happened. Like, you can't let them sleep in bed. They'll sleep in bed, and they'll sleep in bed forever. I'm like, oh, well, looks like this is what we're signed up for because these are my kids. They're not going anywhere. I'm so excited. Get in the bed. Like, I wouldn't trade that for the world. Not even.
I'm here for the cuddles. So,
100%.
I'm here with it.
I fought all of them. Yeah. They're like, you can't do this. I'm like, well, then you better find another bed to sleep in because, like, this is the bed. If you want to sleep on the couch or something like that's you. I'm not going to try to tell you where to sleep, but I know where I'm sleeping. So, y'all figure it out the rest.
Yep. As it should be. Well, seeing as how I need to get out of here and go relieve my wife, we're going to call it here. We'll take these other questions next week because it's been 3 hours.
Long show, yeah.
Yeah, and I know Donnie's tired and Delvin is already yawning. He's probably tapped out a while ago. He doesn't even know what's going on or where he's at.
We on a podcast?
He's like, is it Shaq?
It'll be Shaq time in a minute.
Rebecca, you look different.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. We've been going so long, Delvin, that Rebecca's on her way. So just hang tight.
Just stay here.
Join. Yeah, just don't leave.
Yeah,
and we'll just roll right into the next one.
Yep. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, please play some video games.
Deuces.